Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Select Board meeting for this Wednesday, May 20th at 5:30 p.m. I'd like to make a motion to begin our meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Rick Smith votes aye.
Aye.
Very good. All right, if everybody could please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd just like to open up with a few quick comments.
Don't forget about the taping.
Oh, yes, sorry, thank you, Mr. Kelly. For all who are not aware, the meeting is being recorded by Marshfield Community Media. Just to start with a couple of comments. First, I wanted to congratulate Austin Ahern, who's one of our firefighters for the Marshfield Fire Department. He graduated last week from the Massachusetts Fire Academy, which is fantastic. So I'd like to personally congratulate him, let him know that I personally appreciate everything he's doing. He's also a member of the U.S. Coast Guard, and like many in our town, serves in uniform both for the town as well as our country, which is really fantastic, and a very dedicated life of service. So thank you for all you do, Mr. Ahern, as well as the rest of our folks in uniform service. I also wanted to say that I heard that and I wanted to thank everybody that was involved in schools and safety and whatnot in making sure that the junior prom night that happened this last Friday night was safe for everyone. I heard there was a few challenges in the parking lot that had nothing to do with anybody's personal safety, but from a safety perspective, everybody got home all right, and very proud of that. Also, this upcoming Monday, as everyone knows, is Memorial Day. Mr. Kelly had announced that yesterday. Just as a reminder on specifics, the Memorial Day parade on Monday kicks off at 10:30 a.m. It starts out of Library Plaza. It ends at Town Hall, and then there'll be a ceremony. And of course, it's a great opportunity for the town to come together, as we always do every Memorial Day, to honor those who have given their lives in service of our great republic. So look forward to seeing everybody there. And those are all the comments I had. Mr. Kelly, did you have any comments?
I just wanted to say that I think for our next meeting, we should take up the beach parking. I don't know if we can get the communications on that from people. They don't seem to be happy on that, so I think we may want to do a policy review on that in regards to how they do the whole beach parking in regards to fees and when they're going to charge and all that. Seems to be getting a lot of attention from people in regards to it. And I just want to say that, last night's meeting was good, but, I'll let you know, Mr. Chair, that after further thought of that meeting, I wasn't too thrilled with Chief DeVars and Captain McDonald's, McDonough's, I guess, demeanor towards both of us, especially towards me in regards to some of my questions, but also when you asked some questions, it just seemed that they, in my appearance, were kind of annoyed with it, And my time is sitting up here as the select board. I'm getting sick and tired of those that are under us, seeming like they run the town and have control over us and feel like that they can do what they feel, in my opinion. And I think we need to rein that in my opinion, in regards to that. We all want to have a good working relationship. I don't mind when people disagree with me and all that, but when it starts going over the lines of showing disrespect, especially to us as we're trying to do our duties to the best of our ability to the taxpayers, I have a problem with that. So I don't know how you would like to go about that, or what the process would be for us to take that matter under discussion or advisement, but I think it's something that we should, at some point, take up.
Thank you,
That's
Mr.
it.
Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. All right, so next up is executive session, where we're going to be discussing strategy with respect to litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares pursuant to Mass General Law in the case of Robinson versus Marshfield. I'd like to make a motion that we recess our select board meeting at 5:37 PM and go to executive session. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I'd like to make a motion that we reconvene our select board meeting May 20th, 2026 at 18:05. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote.
Aye.
Rick Smith, aye. Okay, next on our agenda is public comments. We have two folks signed up for public comment this evening. Dana is up first.
Hello, my name is Dana Coman. I live at 906 Main Street. And I'm here today because regardless of where I stand on the budgets and the override, I am here to implore you, Rick and Eric, to do the right thing. The override needs to be on the ballot so that myself and every registered voter in the town of Marshfield can exercise their right to vote. Decisions such as the override should not be left up to a select few. Taking away our right to vote goes against the values of this country and this town. Additionally, as someone who grew up in a community of underfunded schools, underpaid teachers, and overcrowded classrooms, I can tell you that by not supporting the funding of our schools is a very dangerous game. Without question, the people who will suffer the most if the budget needs are not met are our children. As a mother with two young children, one of whom is slated to enter the Marshfield Public School District this fall, it is concerning to me that we are even entertaining the idea of not funding our schools and thereby not supporting the success of our children and future generations. When our schools are properly funded, our students thrive, our home values increase, and we all win. So again, I am imploring you, Rick and Eric, to do the right thing, get the override on the ballot, and let the residents of Marshfield decide. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kaman. Next, we have Madeline Daly.
Hi, Madeline Daly, 5 MacArthur Lane. I'm just here tonight because I'm a little confused on the budgets that are being mentioned in the town article, because there's an Article 3A, and then there's a budget 3B, and there's a budget 3C. There's actually, and in the past, on this agenda tonight, it says there's 3 budgets, and in the past select board meeting, you mentioned 3 budgets also. So is there any explanation as to why we're referring to Article 3A as a budget at this point in time?
Can't comment on it, public comment, Madeline.
All right.
So-
So has anything changed on that warrant since it's been printed?
My suggestion is when it comes up in our agenda,
Okay.
if Rick chooses, you can speak to it then.
All right, so just 2 things. I don't think we're in a place for an override. I think the school needs to present its numbers. I know somebody that's been doing research, and the state numbers that the state has does not match what the school is presenting to the town of Marshfield. And thirdly, I am not in favor of a 5-person select board. We're not at that point. We need to build a trust in this town for conversations not to be had in front of everybody. It's not the time and place at this present time. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Daly. Any other public comment? All right, seeing none. All right, seeing as we have a few people here right now on some specific agenda items, I'm going to go with the suggestion that we move some of these around in order to take some of these agenda items up front, as I don't want to keep everybody here having to wait especially long to get to the ones that they specifically showed up for. So appreciate everybody for joining us. Let's start with item number 7, discussion and vote on the DAV leasing update, which is a continuation from our discussion from the May 11th meeting. You got a copy of this too? I do. Perfect. So I've read it, but I just saw the new copy a brief while ago, and I just wanted to make sure. If I remember correctly, we added the $100.
Yep. $100 a month, $1,200
$100
a
a
year.
month, yep.
It should be, I believe, also a 6-month reprieve until they get themselves established.
Exactly.
And then we just got to I think we just got to fill in the date. The only thing we're missing, Rick, which we asked about, and I don't see in a binder unless, is the insurance. You guys have the?
Yeah, we
have that.
we gave you a copy, and he has it right there in front of him.
Okay.
No, the insurance.
Yeah. It's the signature that you two fellows have to sign too.
Well, that's the lease agreement.
Yep.
Is this the insurance? Do we know if Bob went through this?
We sent, Kate sent it over to Bob to see, for him to review it, and he never got back to us, but I do have it on the desk out there if you'd like to read it.
Okay. All right. Rick, here's my suggestion, Rick. We can approve all this. We just have to put pending Bob's approval on their insurance, if you want to go that route.
No, that's fine, and I also see, I mean, it's here in the lease, so if you don't have insurance that meets the lease conditions, then the
Yeah.
lease becomes
Yeah.
null and void.
They have the insurance. My only question was it enough coverage?
Okay,
So the whole thing is that Bob was supposed to review it and make sure that the coverage is satisfactory to the town.
Yeah.
So that was my concern in regards to that, so.
Yeah.
And I think he agreed with it, and that's why we picked up.
Jamie, can you just name and address?
Huh?
Name and address if you're speaking.
Oh, I'm Henry James Susi III, 1459 Ocean Street.
What were you saying, Gene?
What?
What were you mentioning?
I was mentioning about the insurance. Our attorney talked to Bob Galvin, and he has a copy of it too, so.
Yeah, no, Chelsea
Yeah,
mentioned that.
and we're
Bob has
just gonna
it.
switch over the name like tomorrow, after we get the lease.
Okay.
Because they need the lease to switch it over to the MVets.
Yeah, the name, all right, for your insurance, that's
Yes,
one thing. The only,
exactly.
like I said, my only concern was just if the coverage was enough. That's
Yeah.
all I had concerns with.
And it's up to $1 million, so.
Okay, when we hear back from Bob, which I think is enough.
Yep.
When Bob.
Yeah,
gets back to us.
he agreed to it, so.
Okay.
You need this.
okay, I'd like to make a motion, or I'd like to move, I'm sorry, that the board vote to approve the final draft 3-year lease, subject to final,
Hold on, Rick. Are you going to put a date in, start date for this?
it would be
Would
today, right?
today?
Yeah,
Okay. What's today's date?
the 12th.
12th?
No, 20th, I'm sorry, jeez.
20th day. 20th, okay. And yeah, I think that was just the dates that need to be filled in regards to it. And is the motion having it the 6-month reprieve for the time being as well?
It does not.
It does say it in the lease.
The lease does, yeah, but,
Yep.
actually, what's the,
It says December, I think, well, whatever date this
actually, you know
is.
something, the motion's good, because it says the lease, and everything's in the lease. So I think you
Yeah.
just go by that, I would say just add in the pending Bob's approval on the insurance.
Agreed. Okay, move that the board vote to approve the final draft 3-year lease, subject to review of meeting of insurance terms by Attorney Galvin. The former DAV Hall to the AMVets Association is included in the packet, and to sign it after it's been signed by AMVets. Do I have a second?
Second?
Any further board discussion?
None.
Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That's 2 in favor. The motion passes. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Gentlemen.
Thank you,
Thank you,
gentlemen.
gentlemen.
All right, next up, agenda item number 8, the continuation of the May 11th meeting discussion on the Boys and Girls Club permit fee waiver. Thank you for being here, gentlemen. So the last time that we met, we discussed a couple different variations. You'd requested a full waiver for the fees. I had kind of proposed a 25% fee waiver, but at the time, we also decided to, since I was just looking at it for, not the very first time, but only for a couple of days, that it would make sense to take a little bit more time to review it. I've reviewed it again, and I still believe that 25% is fair, and that would be my position on it. Eric, Mr. Kelly?
I'm open to that. I mean, I think $10,000 reduction, as far as I can tell, is fair, especially in regards to your latest letter you sent us in regards to what you've done for the town. But I guess I have to ask, is like, some of the stuff that you sent us in the letter in regards to your involvement in some town, do you know what the total price tag on that would be?
No.
No.
A lot of things, aren't priced out that way. Because, when we rent the facility, we work on collaborations, partnerships. Sometimes we add staff and safety, lifeguards. Like if the schools are having a big end of school year party for 5th grade or dances, we provide a lot of staff there. So every case is a little differently.
I get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only thing that, I think with the 30,000, because I understand where you're coming from, and I've heard from a couple other people that, like the town's a little short in money and all that and everything, I'm looking at, maybe we should spread that 30,000 out over a period of years.
I mean, have them pay it over time?
Yep.
I'm not opposed to having them pay it over time as long as it's being paid in this upcoming fiscal year.
I don't know, it's, I wasn't thinking that, I was thinking payments at 30, probably 30,000. I was thinking at least 5,000 a year. I mean, because I know with the new building and all that, but, like Mr. Brunel says, and I forget your name, What was your name?
Rick Dowd.
You know, with all they do for the community and all that and everything, all this and everything, plus, like they said, they try to keep the expenses down. I think if we stretched it out, I think that would help in the long run, you know, in regards to keeping their costs down instead of having to come up with one lump sum. But I don't know, if you have a different thought to it, I'm open to it. I'm just trying to see if I can balance here between what the town wants or needs, as well as answering their needs as well, where they're not getting hit with a big bill right up front that may impact them in the short term and what they provide to the town.
No, I understand, and certainly, first of all, like I said last time, gentlemen, acknowledge that the construction of this teen center is fantastic. What it does for the community, everything you've already done for the community is great, right? The fact that you've raised $2.8 million out of the $3.5 million that you need in order to be able to do this is also fantastic, and it's again reflective of the generosity of our community. At the same time, as I cited last time, we have, if I remember the number correctly, 100-plus pink slips out there right now.
Yep.
A very, very, very challenging fiscal situation that doesn't even account for all of the other challenges that may come our way fiscally. And so I didn't hear anything to lead me to believe that the discount would be the kind of the make or break between this teen center operating or getting up and going, and getting up and going the same time frame that it already has been for. And so, again, while I appreciate everything that you've done, I would stay with my original opinion that I think 25% is fair. And I wouldn't be opposed to Mr. Kelly's suggestion that we spread it out over time, but I do think that it needs to be paid within fiscal year 2027.
The appreciation that's very generous of you, and I appreciate it. Can I kind of make a counter offer
Please.
suggestion? I see this new teen center really as a big part of some of the solution within the vacant time that kids are going to have if services and programs and educational services and sports and activities are less made available for kids. The Boys and Girls Club is that place that's always going to be there for kids regardless of their social or economic background. I see our relationship with the town and the schools as a partnership, and it would be an enormous gesture if we could settle at a 50% rate off the permit cost of this new project. And I will guarantee you, every part of the Boys and Girls Club will be there to catch things that might, in the short term, affect the kids in this community that they can't readily get at schools or with the town. We're part of the town, we're part of the school district, we're part of the rec department, we're part of the municipality. So that partnership, I think, would be a great share if 50% was agreed upon.
And the $2.8 million that the club has raised thus far, we have a much smaller denominator than the town when it comes to the donor pool of potential donors to the club. So you're asking a much smaller network of people, families, and people that have the means to donate to the club, which makes it much more acute at a time when I understand the town broadly has some pretty daunting fiscal challenges. But as we said last week, and I'll say again, I think the club has demonstrated that we are a good partner. We've made the club available when many of the town's departments had faltered during COVID. And I think going forward, this particular facility is going to provide an incredible opportunity for a particular segment of the town's population that is very sensitive and vulnerable, and provides them an enormous amount of it provides them an enormous amount of opportunity to take advantage of a facility that this town's never had. And I don't think there are going to be many other organizations coming before you this year, this fiscal year, with such an opportunity to improve the lives of young people who would otherwise go without. And I think that's something to really take seriously. So, thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
All's in your court.
Again, I've said my piece. I don't have anything.
All right, so you don't want to consider it with
No.
Mr. Brunel's offer?
Not at this time.
I don't know what to tell you. I mean, if I say no to it, that means I'm saying, I guess if I make any decision on it, we'll be at a 1-1, and then we'll probably, I don't know where that would put us if we got a 1-1. I didn't even think of that far, on a 1-1, regards to this request. I think it would fail.
Right.
So I think you just have to pay the whole thing. So, as much as I would like to help you, I feel compelled on this one that I have to say yes, just to get it moving forward and all that in regards to what Rick wants.
Well,
to do.
thank you. We
So-
Totally appreciate it. Very, very generous. And we'll continue to do our mission and be there for anyone in this community that needs us. So thank you very much.
Very much appreciate that and
Thank you.
respect that.
Before we make any motions or anything, I think Jack might want to make a comment,
Yeah,
if you want to hear from him.
sorry, we're not taking any.
Oh, you're not gonna take any? All
No,
right,
we've
okay.
already gone through public comment. Okay,
Well, you can take, just let you know, you can't take comments on agenda items. If you want to stick with public comment, then that's fine.
yeah, public comments is absolutely fine. We had our couple public comment period.
All right, so you
Yeah.
don't want to take any comments on agenda items?
No, sir.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Okay, I move that the board vote to grant a 25% discount from the building permit fee for the Marshfield Boys and Girls Club. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
No.
Point of order. I just wanted to point out that the town has hundreds of thousands of dollars sitting in trust funds donated by our citizens, and could be used in this regard. So I just wanted to point that out. That was my whole thing. And there's hundreds of thousands of dollars in there, and there's many, many trust funds.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin. Any other discussion?
Unless you want to look into further Mr. Griffin's thoughts in regards to it, I guess.
If the requesters want to come back with a request at another time, utilizing a different source, then I'd be completely open to listening to it.
I think that is suggestive in doing that, if that's possible.
Absolutely. I was unaware of that.
Do you need, you're not ready to build yet, right?
Yes, we are.
You are?
Yep.
Is Andrew expecting the payment right away if you guys, with the permits, is that going to be up front?
Soon, yeah.
I would say just motion what we have, and if there's another funding mechanism that we can use to alleviate this. Well, actually, if we go through and they pay the town, then I don't know if you can do anything about it afterwards. So this is where I'm not too sure on the legalities of it. If they go, because if they pay the town right up already for the permit,
Right.
I don't know if you can get some funding to roll back to you to replace it or not and everything. So when do you want to put the shovel in the dirt?
Within the next week.
Within the next week?
Yeah.
Would visiting this, we have a meeting next Thursday, would visit us next Thursday, and if you can find a funding source we'll have a conversation then, if it's possible.
I think, if I might suggest, a better alternative would be to make the decision tonight, and if there's a funding source such as Jack is suggesting that becomes available, whatever portion of that trust or funds that may be available can be applied to the project itself as a donation from the town.
That's an idea, it's always a possibility. That's good thinking, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah, so why don't we do that, and then I guess if what Jack is saying, if there's other funds, I guess if you need approval from the select board and you come across it, then you come back and visit us, and then we'll go from
It's a
there.
win-win for the town, and without knowing the nature of the trust, the intent would be there, that you're benefiting a broad segment of the population, and it would help us out a great deal.
I agree. So why don't you continue on with your motion, we'll go from there with regards to if there's any monies for them to be found to put
Thank
towards the project.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Any other discussion?
None from me.
Okay, we'll take a vote. All in favor of the motion as proposed, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That is a 2-0 vote, and it passes. Thank you.
Thank you very
All
much.
right, thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, next up on the agenda is item number 10. Of a temporary, discussion on temporary trailer for 29 Anderson Drive. Do we have the requesters here, or?
Andrew sent that in.
Andrew,
Oh, this is the one he
when
sent.
I was,
in.
when I was reading it, I wasn't too sure, I think Andrew says he's going to speak on, because I think he put it forward on behalf of the requesters.
Is Andrew on right now? I don't think so. No, I don't think he was planning on attending. So in regards to this, I didn't have any questions on it. I did review it and read through the entirety of it. This is in regards to, go through a little of the detail.
Right, I'll make a suggestion, Rick, which I think helps
Yeah, I'm gonna read the
everybody.
letter.
Yeah, you're going to, okay.
We received a letter from Andrew Stewart, Building Commissioner, on May 18th, and the contents of the letter includes that the home at 29 Anderson Drive was damaged from a fire that the fire department and I responded to and inspected on May 9th, 2026. The fire appeared to have started outside near the garage, and it traveled up the side, eventually working through the roof eave and entering the attic space. This caused extensive structural damage to the roof, fire damage to framing members, and smoke damage throughout the house. Moreover, the required water to put this fire out was inevitably caused significant damage as well. Most importantly, Bill and Patty Gifford, who are the residents of the home, are safe, and the Marshfield Fire Department was able to control and extinguish this fire effectively. However, the damage is such that the residents will not be able to live in the house as repairs are undertaken. I am requesting on the Giffords' behalf that they be allowed to place a temporary living trailer on their property in accordance with paragraph 305-504, the Marshfield Table of Use, accessory use number 16 of the Marshfield zoning bylaw. With your approval, the Giffords will be able to remain on their property during the reconstruction. This approval is for a period of 6 months, and if they require more time, we will submit an extension request per the bylaw. So a little bit of detail on that. Again, our sympathies go out to Mr. and Mrs. Gifford for the terrible damage to their house, and wish them well as they reconstruct. And thank you, Mr. Stewart, Commissioner Stewart, for working with our resident. Thank you, of course, to the Marshfield Fire Department. This is for a mobile home that will be placed on the property. It's a 3-bedroom, I believe. It's a 3-bedroom temp mobile home on the property that would be used as living quarters while the family makes repairs to their fire-damaged home. It's a 12-foot by 60-foot home. Again, the request is for a period of 6 months, no longer unless approved by this board. Any questions or comments?
No, it's an unfortunate thing. I think this is the least thing that we can do, at least to keep the family in town and familiar spot where they are while they're home gets rebuilt.
I agree. Okay. I move that the board vote to approve the use of a temporary trailer for 29 Anderson Drive for a period of 6 months. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any other board discussion?
None.
Seeing no discussion, call for a vote. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The vote carries, the motion carries 2-0. Okay, next we're going to item number 14, which is a sustainable purchasing policy as proposed by Ken Ryan of the DPW. Is Mr. Ryan, Mr. Ryan's here? Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. So, Mr. Ryan, yeah, good evening. I appreciate you coming in. I had a chance to review your sustainable purchasing policy, and just so the public understands, this is a recommendation by Mr. Ryan for a sustainable purchasing policy that gives certain guidance around disposal of trash, possible reuse of goods, and amongst some other things. So, Mr. Ryan, I'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you. So what I handed out to you just now is the buy recycle policy. This was adopted by the Select Board in 2022, and then annually it's kind of reaffirmed by the town administrator. And what it does is it has the town commit that to a maximum extent practicable and consistent with demands of efficiency and cost effectiveness, town employees with purchasing authority shall adhere to the following standards, which is basically buying paper products with a minimum recycled content, using green products where they can, and using state contracts. So this is the policy that we've had for a number of years now. We have this policy in part because we participate in a Massachusetts DEP recycling dividends program. And what that program is, it's an environmental incentive grant program for municipalities designed to reward cities and towns that implement best practices for waste reduction, recycling, reuse, and composting. So how it works is municipalities earn points. We do an annual scorecard for specific initiatives that they have in their waste program. So for instance, for Marshfield, we do this every year. We get points for managing hard-to-manage materials, hard-to-recycle materials, like mercury-containing devices, batteries, bulbs, and thermostats. We do clothing. We do tires, electronic waste, fire extinguishers, appliances, mattresses, paint. We have a haul or buy law. We get points for that. We also provide residents with access to household hazardous waste events. We do the Marshfield Clean Marshfield Day, and again, the core of our program is our hybrid pay-as-you-throw program, where we have trash recycling and we try to limit waste by having pay-as-you-throw bags. So every year we submit something to the state, they give us credit for it, they give us our report card, they give us points, you get a certain number of dollars per point. Over the last 4 years, we've averaged about $17,000 through this grant program. This year, one of the requirements in all the other years has been to have this kind of buy recycle policy. This year, they kind of changed the format for that, provided a template to the municipalities, and came up with this new policy that they would like the town to affirm. So this is the sustainability-based purchasing program. Objectives of the program are to minimize waste and prioritize reuse by identifying alternative options to new and single-use products and equipment, to support recycling markets by purchasing products with post-consumer recycling content and that are recyclable after use, to conserve natural resources such as energy and water, and minimize environmental impacts from pollution, greenhouse gases, and toxins/hazardous waste. So to meet these goals, Marshfield will, whenever feasible, cost-effective, and subject to funding, purchase products and services through the state's Operational Services Division, prioritize donation and reuse, adhere to federal guidelines where that has like the recycled content that we should be striving towards, and prioritizing products that are durable, long-lasting, reusable, or refillable, and avoid purchasing single-use products. So I'm asking that the Select Board affirm this new policy, similar to replace the old policy that we have so that we can continue with that grant program. If we don't accept a new policy, then we will exclude ourselves from the grant program that has provided $17,000 on average the last 4 years.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. First question for you, which I'm sure you understand what it is. Sounds like cost. What's the cost of compliance with this sustainable purchasing policy?
So it says in the template that the state provided us, it says whenever feasible. We added language that says whenever feasible, cost-effective, and subject to funding. And again, Attorney Galvin helped me with the subject to funding language that he wanted to add in there. So he's reviewed this, feels that this policy is okay. We're not going to go and buy green products that are going to cost the town more money. We know we're in a fiscal crisis, but we are going to look at products, and if we can find products that work for us and that can actually save us money, we would go in that direction. And ultimately, the goal of this is that if every community in Massachusetts adopts these policies, then you would encourage economies where we would have more products that use recycled products in their use. But that's a long-term goal.
In the recycled product purchase policy, right up here at the top, in the top third, it says, to the maximum extent practicable and consistent with the demands of efficiency and cost effectiveness. Do those words or anything similar pop up on the template here for the sustainability policy? I see whenever feasible.
Whenever feasible, cost-effective, and subject to funding, yes.
Where is that? Sorry, I'm looking at.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I added language to it, and I did not provide you the latest and greatest.
All right.
I apologize for that.
That's okay.
Can't read what I didn't give you.
Oh, good.
It's true.
So that's in that middle sentence there, to meet the above goals?
Yep. Okay. And I mean, clearly, we have a budget. We have budget limitations, spending limitations per account. This certainly doesn't appear to open the door for any spending of any kind that's above and beyond what's already been contemplated in the budget. A couple of the items that are mentioned here in when it says whatever feasible, it says purchase products and services offered through the Operational Services Division's services guide. Are we already using that right now?
Yes, we're doing a lot more state contracting now, using state contracts to increase the efficiency in our procurement.
Increase the efficiency and cost?
Yes.
Okay, good. Prioritize donation and reuse before disposal of goods or equipment, and whenever possible, utilize the state's surplus property program?
Yes, we haven't used that, but it's a good program where if you have old furniture that you'd like to get rid of, you can advertise it basically over the whole state.
Okay. Adhere to federal comprehensive procurement guidelines or other established criteria for minimum recycled content levels when purchasing office supplies.
Yes, so that's the part where I said our previous policy said a 30% recycled content in paper. This is basically making it so that we'll adhere to the federal rules, so if they change the percentages, that we would seek to adhere to the new percentages.
Okay. Then lastly, prioritize purchasing products that are durable, long-lasting, reusable, or refillable, and avoid purchasing single-use products, so which I think speaks for itself. Okay. I didn't have any other questions. Mr. Kelly?
I don't know, I think this needs a further review, Rick, to be honest with you. I have concerns, even though the whole thing is that it's a policy, and so my understanding, if we make it a policy, then we're going to have to abide by this. And I have some concerns without knowing the potential negativity that could be coming with this. I mean, the first one, just reading that, it seems kind of harmless. But this one, it seems that it's asking for more, and I don't know if we're going to open up a can of worms by doing something like this. And the whole thing is that they, like Ken says, they tout the $17,000. Am I correct about that?
Yes.
$17,000. Is it a grant, you said?
Yes.
And grant money for it. But if we don't go with it, then we don't get the 17,000?
Correct.
And I just don't know. I'll be honest with you, I think this has to go through like a really good review, 'cause I don't know what we could be walking into here, in my opinion.
Have you reviewed this with our procurement consultant?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I mean, go with number 3, conserve natural resources such as energy and water, and then it goes on to 4, on the end, minimize environmental impacts from pollution, greenhouse gases, and toxins. I mean, I think we all try to do that in my own opinion. I just don't know, when they say greenhouse gases, it's almost like a red flag to me. And then conserves natural resources such as energy and water. I mean, I think we try to do that on our own. I just don't know, like I said, I'm a little concerned, I'll be honest. I don't think I would sign on to this at this moment. I think it needs a further review, what we could be getting ourselves into.
So to be clear, those top 4 that you were referencing,
Yep.
those are objectives.
Yep.
That's saying that by having this policy, we would hope to get to these things. So those are objectives. And then further down is to meet those goals, we would try and do these things, but again, with the caveat that they would have to be feasible, they would have to be cost-effective, and we would have to have the money for them.
Which one of these 4 bullet points are required to maintain the grant?
This is the template that the state would like to have us utilize. If we crossed out things, we can see how it goes, see what they'll accept.
Okay. I get, my only, again, I have no other questions. My only comment would be is that I think it would make sense I'd like to hear what the procurement consultant thinks and get an opinion from that person, which
Okay.
hopefully shouldn't be a big deal.
No.
That should be relatively quick.
I'll be honest, Rick, I think we should post it publicly online and let the residents view it and maybe get some opinions on that. I don't think that would do us any harm doing something like that either.
Well, it should be public record at this point, but sure, we can post it. Do we have Chelsea, do we have a spot on the website right now where we're posting the materials from the packets? No? Okay.
And
What's that?
I can make one now.
what's that?
So,
Well, we get the,
Keep them all on file, though,
Yeah.
so if anybody wanted to request them through a FOIA or any other means, we keep them all in the office and in the computer.
okay, I might add that too, if maybe you could make a note, we put that on next week's agenda, because he brings up a good point, which is that we're going through a lot of this stuff, but the public doesn't have any opportunity to actually read what we're looking at. Obviously within, confidentiality parameters and whatnot, but these are public records, so.
what do you want to do, post the agenda?
No, we already post the agenda, but I mean, everything in the packet.
Well, I mean, everything, yeah, the packet, everything.
Yeah.
You want to, I think the people would be appreciative of that, see what we see. It's a good idea.
Well, that's what many governments do. town governments, city governments. But anyways,
Obviously not us.
no, obviously not. But back to this. Yeah, could I ask that we get a procurement review from our
Absolutely.
procurement consultant? And then to Mr. Kelly's request, once we get it up public, we can offer we can put it up publicly and then perhaps return to this in maybe 3 weeks?
I'd like to do it as soon as possible.
When is it
I have to
required
have
by
a
the
report
state?
in by June 1st.
Good luck.
Time. Okay.
Chelsea,
I could come back next week.
Ken, did, on this with all the blue spots on it, I imagine those are websites?
Yes.
Did you send that to Chelsea so she can forward it to us so we can click on those links?
You have the copy of that, right? And it should still have the hyperlinks in it? If not, I will get it to her, yes.
Yeah, that'd be gratefully appreciative.
Absolutely.
I'd be fine with, again, including this in an agenda item for next week to simply, at a minimum, pick up in terms of finding out where you stand with the procurement review.
Okay.
And I do have that, and it does have the links on it, and I can forward it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great, Chelsea.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much. And then you said you need it by June 1st, you said?
So the report where I get my scorecard is due by June 1st.
Is that based on the old policy, though?
So they'll evaluate the new new scorecard, assuming that this policy is in there. And this.
I would
policy
say, my opinion, Ken, would be is, if there's going to be a problem, tell them, look, we still have the old policy in place and they're still reviewing the new policy. We still have a policy in place, so I don't know what the big deal is.
Again, they wanted everybody to get into a more current policy, because
Yeah,
our
I get
policy was
that.
older.
Yeah,
So
they
the way the
handed-
state has presented it is, this is your ticket to entry. We don't,
No, that's the
won't
pro-
review your scorecard.
Well, that's the problem, Ken, in my opinion, is as we see how the state has used grants to advantage to wield power over you, and that is a big problem in my mind. And,
Yeah, and in this case, I understand what you're saying. In this case, we have a program where we do all these things for our residents. So we're actually just reporting so that we get credit for what we already do.
No,
If we were not to get the grants, we would still do what we do, but we would not have the opportunity to get that money.
correct. I know what you're saying. You're saying 17 grand.
Yes.
It's I look at it as these grants. The use of them, I think, in some ways are evil. And the whole thing is, I just look at that. Something. Why give out grant? Why just all these grants they get on? Just give the towns the money and they can do whatever they want with it right now, especially in the budget situation. So that's the way I look at it, in my opinion. So, all right, we can revisit next week. I don't know if there'll be a decision made, but at least you want to get a report from the procurement officer?
Yeah, I think it'd be good to get it from the procurement officer and also like to get some additional information probably from Attorney Galvin too, just to understand the enforcement protocols from the state. But otherwise, no, I don't have any major objections to it at the moment, subject to, again, hearing from the procurement consultant. And obviously would like to protect whatever grants we have, so long as we're not subjecting ourselves to anything extraneous. Okay. Do you have anything else?
No, I was just looking at the motions and having the no motion anticipated, just informational.
This
So
is
I
just a
don't-
discussion.
Yeah, so I don't even think, it doesn't look like there was even an anticipated vote tonight on it. I don't know if you knew that or not, but.
I saw it on the agenda. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Ryan, thank you
All right,
very much.
Ken, thank you.
Appreciate it. Okay, next, we're going to go to item number 5, response to inquiry from the Chair of the Capital Budget Committee to the Select Board. Mr. Griffin?
Did you, actually, he'll probably highlight, like I said, you want to highlight the letter, or they'll probably cover it anyways, I would imagine.
Yeah, I've read it a couple times.
Jack Griffin, 89 Beach Street, Chair of the Capital Budget. I didn't know if you wanted to go over the letter that was written one by one, but I'd like to make a statement.
Yes, please.
Okay. My concern tonight is not simply about a one budget or individual capital requests. My concern is the long-term financial picture facing Marshfield. According to the town debt documents, Marshfield is currently carrying approximately $105 million in bonded debt obligations, including general obligation bonds, anticipating notes, and it's exceeding $8 to $10 million per year for the foreseeable future for payments. At the same time, the capital budgets review has $73 million in five-year capital requests, and that does not include all the departments, which was in my letter. And of course, these requests are for fire trucks, ambulances, police vehicles, new roofs, enterprise projects, DW infrastructure. My concern tonight is simple. Has anybody fully calculated all these obligations into a long-term financial plan? Has the advisory board reviewed the cumulative impact of these future requests against the town's existing debt obligations? And that's basically where I am right now. And I also asked about the funding for all the items that we have pending, and that's why I'm here.
Thank you very much, for Mr. Griffin, for being here, and thank you for your service to the town on the Capital Budget Committee. We appreciate it. I'll start with, I did a little homework into this. I'm not Peter, and he wasn't able to be here tonight. We can certainly continue the conversation at the next meeting. But I'll start off with saying that I very much strongly agree with the premise that we need a strong forecast for the next 5 years of what our capital budget commitments are. If you noticed, I don't know if you caught yet last night's meeting, but it's one of the things that I focused on, in particular when talking to fire, because obviously they have a large amount of equipment, not that police don't, but fire definitely do. And having a 5-year forecast to look into the future as far as what has to be replaced or what we expect to be replaced, even if we don't end up replacing it for one reason or another, is basic common sense financial practice. Every organization in the world does that. To your point, I'm not aware, and I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I'm not aware, and I've asked to see what the town's total overall 5-year capital forecast looks like broken down amongst every department. Again, that's not to say that it doesn't exist. It may exist by department.
Sitting on the floor right there, but I have right now.
Excellent. So, what your comment was is that, if I understood correctly, is that we don't have a forecast going.
I have a forecast from some of the departments, but not all of the departments. And my guess is that the forecast didn't have a real lot of thought into it because of the financial situation we are in now. It probably has to be really reviewed again.
Yep.
It's my gut feeling.
Well, and to your point too, right? When you're talking about capital expenditures and equipment and the debt that covers that, or split between debt and free cash and otherwise, that's a discussion that goes outside of the operating budget. Not that it's completely exclusive from the operating budget, but obviously it's a matter of doing proper prior planning. One of the things that I've had a discussion with the advisory board about, one member in particular, is about utilizing the existing Munis system for a CMMS capability, computerized maintenance maintenance monitoring system. Anyways, a system that can help us track what needs to be done and when for all departments. So that way, that information is compiled in one nice, neat log that obviously you are able to have on the capital budget committee, and then the select board can assist in terms of funding options and whatnot as we plan for the future. So to to me, it makes complete sense. I think we need to get on it. And I've talked to Mr. Moran about this in particular. I know that he agrees. We need to actually do it.
So what do we have going on with the 8 and 9 capital budget requests right now that I've been asking for 3 or 4 months, where the funding is for it? Have we got an answer to that?
No, it's a good question, and I asked earlier this week about it. I have not gotten an answer, and we deserve an answer because I've been waiting now for days, and I will have you an answer no later than Friday morning.
Is there a reason why there is no answer?
That part, I'm just waiting for an answer to try to understand why that's even outstanding in the first place. So-
I know you weren't on the board at the time, Rick, but it's been recorded a number of times that I've asked this question over and over and over again, and it goes all the way back, God only knows. And I'm not blaming you, but we only got a few more weeks. We have to vote on these also, you know? And it's really driving me crazy. The other thing that I asked for was the bond counsel. I was told by Melissa Morrissey that she went to bond counsel. That's also recorded on the leftover money from the high school build and $120,000 on water mains and I think $500,000 from somewhere else. And she said she went to the bond counsel, and I was wondering if we got a ruling, because I know that bond counsel, to me, I thought it was like a state bond counsel, but I did homework on it. It's not. It's the company that's issuing the bonds. They're the ones that are giving you advice. And I wonder if we got an answer on that. Melissa's on right now.
Yeah, and I'd be happy to ask Melissa to comment, but my understanding is that for the projects that we have that haven't been fully closed out in terms of what that debt capacity is that's been carried on them, that if there was any money allocated from free cash, right, that in essence came from the general fund in order to fund those projects, that we could go and request a town meeting for the town to go and allocate funding from whatever that balance is, right, in that amount. I mean, it's not obviously as if the money's already been borrowed where it's, sitting in a
No, it's sitting there at a lower percentage, it's $5 million sitting there at the high school level for the high school build, and you put that towards the $3.8 million roof from last year, you're not going to pay an override. You can stop the override. I asked Mr. Kelly to not sign that paper a couple of months ago because I thought maybe we could get an answer, and we would save the taxpayers money. And then Melissa Morrissey, our town accountant, told me that she went before town council, and it's been a while, and I would assume that we have an answer to that, so that we know that we can approve that. We also asked for $120,000 for water mains. There was $120,000 left on a water main project. So why not use that? Why take the money out? We already have it. We'll have it at a less money too. There was a bunch of items in there, and it's only saving the town money. I mean, it's no secret. It's pure business common sense, and I just don't understand. And we're getting very frustrated to the point where, I feel like a Trish Simmons here, but I'm a bit ready to quit because I'm just frustrated, and I'm doing what I do best, trying to get the town, save the money, do the right thing, not getting in arguments and fights or anything like that, try to stay in the middle path, and yet we got no answer. Again, I was expecting tonight that we would have an answer. I appreciate you bringing me forward, but it's the same thing, I'm not getting an answer. It's going on and on and on.
Nope.
This is not right.
And I appreciate where you're coming from, and I appreciate you coming to discuss this and bring this forward. It's obviously the first time that I've been able to speak with you about it. I committed to you that I'll get you a response by Friday on the funding for what's in, I think it's Article 4 of the annual town meeting with capital projects. I will also get that clarification in writing in regards to the borrowing capacity that's still outstanding in regards to those projects that haven't been, the high school, and you mentioned some other ones as well. Again, my understanding is that that's borrowing capacity, almost like
We also have a bond that's due August 2026 for $1 million. It's the initial roof, Martinson roof, the initial diagram when they went in and did the initial work on it. There was $1 million drawn on a bond. There was $500,000 left 6 or 7 months ago, and maybe down to $300,000. However, that bond's due August of 2026. I saw that today when I was looking at bond council, and I just hope that we were considering that money too that we need to spend.
Melissa, you online here? Melissa's not commenting. So, again, I will get you something in writing on that, but having dug into this a bit, the borrowing capacity that's out there it's like having a credit card where you have a spending limit of $20,000 and you spent 15. So you still have another 5 that you can spend, but if you haven't spent it, you don't owe it. You know what I'm saying? So it's sitting out there as capacity, as borrowing capacity, but it's not actually an expense yet. So I understand and take your point that obviously we want to save the residents of our town money wherever possible, but if all we're doing is trying to reallocate borrowing capacity, it's not saving, it's just simply using a mechanism.
The bonds are from 15, 20 years ago. The interest rates are a lot lower than what they are right now. So when you're allocating over, you're taking that money at a less interest rate.
No, I understand, but again, my awareness is on this is that that interest rate that we had 15, 20 years ago wouldn't apply anymore because we didn't borrow the money. All we did was we borrowed some money, right?
That can't be right.
So we got approval to go out and bond a certain amount at that time.
$100 million at X amount percent, that stays.
Correct, but...
So you pay it all off.
But if you don't use all of that borrowing capacity, the remainder of the borrowing capacity that you haven't actually used, that interest rate could adjust with the market. You know.
So what you're saying is, and I don't know if you're correct on this, and I don't think you are, but what you're saying is that the remaining balance, if you're going to use it now, is at a higher rate.
I don't know what the rates are, so I don't want to comment on the rates, but it wouldn't be at the rate from 15 years ago. And again, I can confirm that with Peter, but it would be current market rates, and then we would have to go to town meeting and have the town vote to.
That part I know.
Right.
That's not an issue. That's not an issue. But a lot of towns do this already, and I'm sure if they're doing it, they're not paying more for it. They're saving money. So, I would look at the other towns that are doing it too. I mentioned that before in meetings. Anyways, it looks like I appreciate you doing it, but we've got, what's this, May 20th, about 4, maybe a month, 5, 6 weeks before town meeting. And I still don't have an answer on the funding. I have to have a meeting, call a meeting, get all my board together on the meeting so that we can say, okay, yes, no. Because what we did was we put our vote was contingent on the funding. And that's what we're waiting for. I mean, going to comes down to we're going to have us there the night before or the night off. That's what it looks like right now. And there is absolutely no reason for it. So here, let me ask you this question, and I'll cut this, as I got to get up 4 o'clock in the morning. If we have a budget that's on the board that you guys are going to talk about, A, B, and C, how can those budgets be real right if capital budget items aren't in there with no funding. That doesn't make sense to me. So we got $5 million roughly, just say $5 million. If they're not approved, then they can't be in the budget, correct? What is all that all about? Or are we $5 million more that they need to be added in?
No, it wouldn't be additional $5 million more,
So then where is it?
well, that's the answer that I owe you by Friday, right? And it's really, it's to understand what those options are, because the appropriate, or the vote from the town is going to be to a vote to appropriate, to borrow, or any other means necessary, right, in order to be able to fund it.
Or free cash?
Free cash is, yeah, that's an option.
Because I was told there was $700,000 to $800,000 free cash. Then I was told to bring it down to $600,000 free cash. Now, as a former member of the advisory board, you must know that if we were to get a police car, we're not going to deduct, say, the $600,000 and the police car was $75,000. We're not going to deduct the $75,000 from the $600,000. What we're going to deduct is the finance charge, what it costs us each year, and that brings it down. And that's another thing we need to look at. So when we get, wherever we're getting the money from, I mean, you got our hands tied. Let me ask, I like you, I like the two of you together, believe it or not. You may not believe it, but I like the both of you. What is gonna happen if we don't get the answers? It's like, why is it taking so long? It doesn't, I mean, you weren't, I mean, you're on the advisory board, you've never seen anything like this. This, in particular, has no relationship, the current thing has no relationship to any political party thing, what's going on right now. It's, something's wrong somewhere. What is it? I don't understand what it is.
I have lots of thoughts on that, but I know that's not a discussion point tonight. We could probably
All right.
stay here for a while, and then you'll
I hope.
be hurting in the
wish
morning,
you
so I don't
both-
want to do
wish you
that.
both luck, you know, I really
Thank
do.
you.
I've just about had it up to here, you know.
I'll be back to you on Friday.
Appreciate it.
my-
Thank
it's my
you so
word.
much, everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Mr. Kelly?
Mr. Chair, welcome to my world. Jack's been on this for months. I've been trying to get answers, and he's correct. There's foot dragging amongst the staff is the way I could see it. Getting the answers, simple answers. Hey, can we do this in bonding? I've asked him. I think we had a meeting on it. All right, if we can't do something through bond counsel like Jack Griffin was asked, ask bond counsel, put it in writing, and get back to us. And then Jack has his answers right there. And he is correct in regards to, well, where's the money on the warrant, all that and everything. It's, I would say, I think he's correct. It's been going back 4 months, trying to get answers between Meg, and then I was told that it's up to Melissa and all that. And it just seems like there's a lot of stalling. And to me, sorry to say it, but it seems to be intentional for some reason. So I don't know what's going on. And the whole thing is that if we can't get answers on this, then what's going on with the whole budget in the first place? So this is a problem. It needs to be addressed. I think if our staff is not fulfilling the obligation that we believe, then I think we should be having meetings on it.
No, thank you, Mr. Kelly, and I agree that Mr. Griffin and the town has waited entirely too long to get the answer for such a basic question. Chelsea, if you don't hear anything from me tomorrow evening on this, as far as having an answer drafted up, please call me, throw rocks at my house,
Send a pigeon?
send a pigeon,
All right.
whatever you got to do. But we're getting an answer to Mr. Griffin by this Friday, period. Okay.
Well, let me add on to that, Rick, if you don't.
Yes, sir.
I think we really need to have a meeting on this and get on the staff and start asking them questions, and if not, then maybe we need to start looking for new help, in my opinion.
Well, we are going to get the answer by Friday. That's accountability. Okay. Okay, we're going to go back up to the top of the item list. Just a quick discussion on the, I don't know why there's a vote on here, update on the TA position. Just a quick comment from myself. Mr. Kelly has anything to add, but we understand, the Select Board understands, I understand, as Chair of the Select Board, that the search committee's has had a lot of activity in the last several months. We're expecting to hear a report from them at next Thursday's Select Board meeting. And I want to thank the committee for all the work that they've been doing, as this position is obviously critical in many ways, some of which we literally just covered moments ago. Any comments?
No.
Okay, moving on to item number 2. Budget update with advisory board regarding their plan to complete their review and continue discussion on the communications strategy prior to annual town meeting on June 15th, 2026. So the last time that, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say the last time, when the select board met last week, one of the items that we talked about was a communication strategy. We had a couple folks in and discussed some thoughts there that I wanted to share. I wanted to make a proposal for a kind of a basic template that we can ask the interim TA to take on, which I think would help simplify some of the information for members of the town. But before we get to that, I wanted to ask Mr. Falcara from the advisory board just to give a very quick update on where the advisory board stands in their review.
Sure. Vin Falcara, representing the advisory board. So we've been meeting for the last several weeks independently, 1 and 2 members at a time with the various department leads to gain information, how they were creating their budgets, what, any idiosyncrasies that we needed to know. And we will be meeting tomorrow and probably at least weekly thereafter, maybe more than once a week thereafter, until town meeting to come up with a strategy for advising town meeting members on the various budget items.
Thank you, Mr. Falcara. I don't have any questions. Any questions, Mr. Kelly?
I just want to thank Mr. Falcara for his volunteering, doing this, especially in these times. But I don't have anything for him. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Falcara. Just a quick presentation. Do we have the PowerPoint? So, Mr. Kelly, what I wanted to show you, so after our discussion last week, I wanted to, this is just a template, so for all disclosure, right, this isn't anything marvelous, and
It's a good stamp on it.
thank you very much. For discussion only, it's just a draft, so I don't want anybody judging me by my PowerPoint skills. But I did want to just give an idea, right, a very high-level overview of exactly what I was referring to. If you could go to the next slide, please. So what's included in this summary is just a high-level overview of the 3 budget options in Article 3 of the annual town meeting warrant, major assumptions, FAQs, and that sort of thing. So again, a very...
Could I just ask something?
Yes, sir.
Was this supposed to be tied into the 3A, 3B, 3C budget?
No, that was a separate item.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a separate item. So, again, this is meant to take what is obviously a lot of complicated information. There's been a lot of work done over many, many months on the budget, a lot of questions, a lot of confusion. And this is meant to help summarize it and to try to put something together that's a bit succinct, that's not political at all in terms of it doesn't say, hey, we favor this, that, or the other thing, but simply to outline and present the facts as far as what's included in each of the options. What's not included in the summary is things that you typically wouldn't have in a summary, right? Detailed information, department justification, stuff like that. That information, I still do believe, should be provided. And any information, of course, that the public desires that, obviously is within reason from a confidentiality standpoint, let's provide it. But my thought is that what we would do is we would have a page on the website, like a dedicated page on the website, where we would have these summaries available. We would ask that DPW and schools also do similar summaries. Of course, they're under no obligation, not being in the purview of the select board, but we could still ask them to do it voluntarily anyways. And then again, any other detailed information. So for example, if you go to the website now, there's already some detailed information published. I've heard recently there's some challenges with that, and I'm going to be trying to get to the bottom of that. But otherwise, that's what's in here. So if you could go to the next slide. So the first slide here is just a simple table, right? Here are the three options as outlined in the town meeting warrant: 3A, 3B, 3C, and some very simple information underneath these. Again, staying very fact-based. What's the budget request? What is the override per the warrant? What is the override impact on the average household per year? So, in dollars there. What is the total full-time equivalent layoffs from existing hired staff? So the thought here is that while I understand that there's some positions that would get cut from the department requests, I think what folks in the town are most interested in is existing positions where there's actually a human being serving in a particular role right now that would lose their position potentially as a result of that option. And then lastly, yes, sir.
I mean, when
Yeah, go ahead.
you say that, right? I think we all care about that aspect, And
Sure.
the whole thing is that in the business world, when people get fired from their jobs because they're shipped off overseas, their job is shipped overseas and all that, or the company is not doing well and they got to make cuts and all that and everything. It's just part of life and doing business, The town doesn't have the money. And you think, as people that want this override, if that's their thought on it and everything like that. The whole thing is that I know there's a bunch of people in town that can't afford the override. And the whole thing is that to say just because we should take into account people losing their jobs in the town and all that, absolutely. But, I don't see anybody screaming out for somebody in a regular business world when they lose a job and all that and everything. So, it's unfortunate that there's kind of two different levels here in regards to, I guess, someone like you and me, that we can get gassed. And I don't think anybody in this town really say anything about it, but we make decisions in regards to we have overspent ourselves and everything like that. But then people come in here and say, all these teachers are going to lose this job and all that. Well, one, it's an old propaganda tool. Don't know that for sure, and all that and everything. So the whole thing is that is that decisions need to be made in regards to our budget. We're overspent, in my opinion. So that's what I want to say at the moment. Thanks.
No, thank you. And certainly, again, this summary here is not meant to promote one option versus another. It is not meant to take a position at all. It's simply meant to lay out the facts. If your suggestion is that you think that particular line is suggestive of one option or another being favorable versus another, then I wouldn't be opposed to removing that. I do think that the most important component on this page is the last one, right, which is the summary description of reductions in services, which isn't a 5-page detailed listing, which certainly departments can do and can be published and made available, but to make it simple, what those service cuts are. Mr. Lynch, Steve Lynch made a very compelling argument several months ago that if there are service cuts, and there are service cuts that are contemplated across the board, that those should be clearly defined and laid out for residents to understand in regards to these budget options. So if we do, I'd again be fine with if you think that the line regarding layoffs is going to be a concern, but the service description is absolutely, I think, critical because that explains, right, it's the descriptor of what exactly is happening as a result of that particular budget option. Next slide is what is not included in the fiscal year 2027 budget option. So one of the things that I think that's we need to acknowledge is a town is that the budget isn't it doesn't literally tackle every possible expense that could come up. And this isn't meant to be a list of every possible potential expense, right, that something could happen tomorrow, some unforeseen need. That is not the point of this, but it's to call out potential future liabilities that we're aware of today that could possibly create financial risk for us in the year ahead, right? In other words, when you're looking at your budget, at home, right, you would sit here and say, okay, this is how much money we have to spend every year, and this is how our budget's going to be laid out. But then the next thing you're going to be doing is thinking of all the things that you're aware of that could possibly hit this year and have a probably material chance, I'd say, of hitting, not something that's a 1 in 10 chance, but something that's again a material probability that it's actually going to present itself. This isn't even meant to assign numbers to it either, just an item and a description of what that potential liability is. And by the way, before I keep going here, the thought here is that the town, and again, we'd ask schools and DPW to do this, and that's their prerogative, but the town would put this together. We would direct Mr. Moran to prepare this along with his team. And then they would present to us on Thursday to the select board. If you and I are comfortable with the way that it's laid out and the information and whatnot, then we go and have it published by the following Monday, the first Monday in June, so that way members of the town have this information 2 weeks prior to June 15th, so they have a sufficient amount of time to at least review and discuss and deliberate. The next slide, please. So the next slide is addressing what you always hear me talk about, right, which is the big question of what on earth are we doing to make sure that we don't wind up in this situation again a year from now, because otherwise we're just sort of doing this rinse, wash, and repeat cycle, which is something that nobody wants to be in. And again, this is just a template. We can change this, and if Peter wants to do something slightly different, or if any of us have ideas, we can certainly change it up. But the idea here is that, for example, some of the items that we were talking with fire and police with yesterday, that we could say that, hey, here are some, not just ideas like, hey, spaghetti against the wall sort of thing, but here are some actual well thought through options for us to consider in the months, in the year ahead, in order to be able to reduce future financial liability, future expense. And this would be part of a concerted effort that we take over the course of the year, sooner rather than later. Certainly don't want to kick this down the road, but this is something that we would start to look at ASAP. But I think this is important, right, because if you're, again, a taxpayer in the town, you want to know if the town's presenting me with these options, explain to me, what are you doing to address the futures? Help me understand what the kind of the vision is. Because if all you're going to do is just tell me, hey, I need money and I need it now, and you're not going to give me any purview behind that, then that's irresponsible of the body that's even putting that out as even a request. The next slide is how can we grow revenue? And this is asking, again, Mr. Moran to prepare a succinct, again, high level, not every idea under the sun, but high level areas that could have a material impact on the revenues of the town that would allow us to be able to continue to grow, right, and handle future expenses as they come up and whatnot, especially as inflation rears its ugly head, but avoid the position where we're putting our taxpayers, our property taxpayers, our residents in the precarious position of paying more in taxes. Obviously, any dollar that we can make through growth that takes away a dollar that's required from a taxpayer is a dollar well earned. Next slide. What have we done in the last few years to reduce expenses? Again, I think that as a resident of this town, I'd like to know, a succinct, high-level list, not every single thing. I don't want to know if there's $600 that was saved in office supply expenses last year, but major things that we've done, initiatives that we've undertaken to reduce expenses, and not just what that list is, but what is the dollar amount for that? Because it's easy to say, well, we did all these things to get more efficient. Well, did it actually generate dollars efficiency? Because if it didn't, then that's nice, but it's financial benefit that we're looking for.
Yeah, I think the one thing you need to watch out for in that, Rick, which that's a good subject line, but the thing is, like, they save, when they go, they save the town all this money, but the whole thing is that they save it, or they just find another area to take that savings and spend it elsewhere.
Oh, and that's a fair point, because, and if all they did was, if it's something where somebody's saying, hey, we saved it, but to your point, if it's just shifted over to another department or whatnot, that's not a savings. That's just simply moving money from one pocket to the other, and
Coconut shells.
yeah, that is not something that we want to take credit for and would be irresponsible. Next slide. The last piece here, right, is frequently asked questions, and my thought is that we leave it to, again, Peter for a first draft, and we can certainly, you and I can send him over, like, our idea of a list of questions that we definitely want to see answered in there. Frequently asked questions aren't meant to be comprehensive, right? Meaning they're not meant to address every single possible potential question that may come up over every single thing, but it is meant to address, again, questions that are going to be asked with a high level of frequency. For example, why on earth are we here in the first place? How did this happen? And other basic questions that are already existing throughout the community and that we anticipate would come up when somebody's reviewing what these options are. So anyways, that's my, this is my proposed template. I'm asking for approval from the board to be able to send this, subject to any revisions we want to make to it, to Mr. Moran, is our interim town administrator, to prepare as a first draft. That doesn't mean that he's going to go write it up and then post it on the website right away, but it means he prepares a first draft, he presents it to us next Thursday, shows us what he puts together, and then we have the ability to scrutinize it, ask questions, comment, and revise as necessary.
Can you go back to to all the screens you had up there? Because you don't have it in the book here, I don't think. So I think it was sent to me on computer.
Yeah, sure.
So.
Can you just kind of slowly backtrack?
Oh, just go to the beginning and work.
Or go to the beginning, sorry. Go to the table?
No, back it up.
Oh, you want to go to the back?
Yep.
Okay, yep. Go back one slide. And again, this was just for us. I don't think this needs to go into the the draft. This is just an explanation for us as far as
Oh, so that's,
just the intent of like, hey, what goes in a summary, what doesn't get included in a
so
summary.
it's just like your explanation heading up to it.
That's
is
all.
what you're saying?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you can go to the next one, Rob. Don't we have that on the webpage anyways?
This one right here? We don't. No, there's no summary that's produced. So what is on the webpage right now is there is it's like a 40, 50-page document that has every department and a summary of what their budget is, and then a description, very basic description of what cuts apply to the scenarios. It's kind of wonky when you look at it. And again, you'd have to print it out or go through it and look through 50-some slides. It's not a summary. I guess that a simpler way to state it is that if you're not used to looking at this stuff, you don't look at it regularly, you'd be very confused and you'd probably move on after you saw page 2.
Here's my look at it, especially with this one, Rick. There's still unanswered questions in regards to budget. 3C, regardless of what Bob said last week, I believe it was, is I have concerns in regards to the legality of it, between the motion I put forward, it being inserted into the warrant, when the warrant wasn't authorized to be reopened, and everything. So I think by me voting to move this along would mean that I would be approving this as well. So you could put a vote forward. I will either not motion second it, or I will just say no to it, to be honest with you. I do have concerns in regards to how this is all done up, because I do have concerns about 3C.
Okay, so you wouldn't want to move forward with this because of your concerns with the validity of 3C as a budget option? Okay. So we do have a discussion item on the agenda right now to discuss those 3 items.
We discussed them, right?
What's that?
So, discuss the other items?
Yeah, I thought that's.
Yeah, so I saw this, that's why I thought you were tying it in.
No.
So that's why I was asking.
Well, what we can
So the whole
do,
thing is that, let's put it this way, I guess, you got this, and I guess if you want to roll in the 383, that, I just want to say that there's still many questions around the budget that we got to flush out. People still asking questions. I have concerns. Many other concerns. Those who are either for the override or against the override. I think when we asked, I think it was last week when we asked Meg some questions, and I think we fully got the answers that we needed, and all that and everything. So I just put that on there because I just, like, and I'll mention right here that 3C is still something I have concerns with, and how that transformed and all that and everything, in regards with validity and everything. So to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, between what you presented here for, is this under 2 you're putting it under?
correct, item number 2.
And then wherever the other one was, I think it was further, number 6.
Yep.
That's all I want to say. So, I mean, yes, you only have it as a discussion anyway, so we couldn't even take, even if we wanted to take action on it, we couldn't take action on it. If you counted under number 2. And if you counted under number 6, I think that was the only discussion as well, so.
Correct. So I'm just thinking here, there's a couple different ways to look at it, right? One is that unless there's opposition, there's nothing to preclude, unless there's opposition from yourself, right? There's nothing to preclude from Peter from going ahead and doing something like this himself. And the reason why I say that is because in normal times, a permanent town administrator would have already done all this
Let's
stuff.
put it this way.
You and I wouldn't even have to be suggesting it.
Well, I mean, as you say that, as you think about it, right? Let's put it this way. You could ask Peter to do something like this, and you just put it on the agenda. Done. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
That way, these doesn't put me in a situation in regards to how I have concerns with it, but
No, I
leaves the
understand.
door open for you to do what you want, I guess, and all that. You know,
Okay.
so.
Well, I appreciate the discussion. I'll ask Mr. Moran to look at it and consider it as an agenda item on our next meeting. Okay, we'll move on to agenda item number 3, discussion and vote on submission of special legislation as approved at town meeting to go from a 3-member select board to a 5-member select board. Here we go. All right, so just to kind of open the floor, right, is, or to open the discussion, I should say, not the floor. We want to, or at town meeting, there was one of the articles, I don't even remember the number. Actually, I bet you Mr. Fleming does, because he's right here. Why don't you come up, Mr. Fleming? Sure. Since you're probably the resident expert in the room on it. And I don't know, do we have, I don't think Mr. Galvin's, no, he is on the phone. Mr. Galvin, are you there? Attorney Galvin? On Zoom?
I am here.
Oh,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you turn the volume down? It sounds like God's calling to us, and I respect Attorney Galvin, but not that much. All right. Okay, thank you, Attorney Galvin, thank you, Mr. Fleming. So just as a quick rehash, right, we had a special town meeting back, maybe not even a month ago now. One of the articles that appeared on that was a change in charter where there would be, where the select board of the town of Marshfield would go from a 3 select board members to 5 select board members. That motion passed at, that article passed, I'm sorry, at special town meeting with, I believe it was over 90% of the voters there, correct, Mr. Fleming?
Yes, sir. It was, I'm sorry, is it working? Yes, it was 514 voters voted, 483 voted yes, and 31 voted no. So that would be 94% roughly voted to support this petition.
Thank you, Mr. Fleming. So my understanding is that in order, the next step on this would be is that the select board now has to vote to send this forward as special legislation to the state, as the state has the authority. They're the only ones that have the authority to to give the final blessing, if you will, on charter changes. But in order to send that to the state and have them deliver consent or otherwise, the select board has to vote to send it along to the state. So that is the reason for item number 3 on this list. I'll just give my perspective. I know that there's some various opinions out there about this article. My opinion, however, is that regardless of some various opinions at town meeting, it was an overwhelming majority that voted in favor of moving this article forward to the state. I think that we should honor the town meeting's request, or their vote in particular, and push this forward to the state as soon as possible. Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Chair Smith. Everybody knows my position on this. Brian is not in the dark of my position on this. I'm not in favor of a 3-member select board. The whole thing is that I think the way it was chosen to go about it, I think it's improper. I think it should go through a charter review, and I believe that's where it belongs. All the more reason why I asked to put a charter commission on the agenda tonight, so you and I can discuss that, put that together, and we'll forward this to the charter commission to take up. There'll be plenty of time for the public to comment on it, review it, everybody get their thoughts, and then you can bring it to a special charter meeting and the public can vote on it then, as a whole charter, as we revamp the charter, hopefully.
Okay, so you're not in favor of moving forward with this?
That would be, as moving into the legislature? No, I am not. I think it belongs, I think the proper way to do it is through a charter review, in my opinion. That's where it's at, and that's why they put this in, is because they wanted to, I guess you could say, override the charter. My look at it is that it should have further discussion, and I imagine, in my opinion, much like the last charter, I think it was like 10 years ago, it was on there, and though it didn't pass, I think there was an appetite for it to a degree, but I think there were some things that were in the way of it. But the whole thing is that, like I said, I think going about this way is improper, in my opinion. And Brian's well aware in my past comments that I don't think, in my necessary opinion, I don't think we need 5 members up here. I think that'll probably be more problematic than helpful, in my opinion. But like I said, go through a charter review and let the public speak on it, and bring it forward to a special meeting, probably the beginning of next year sometime, if we do put a committee together, and then go from there. If the public wants to change what the charter, and especially add a 5-member select board, then that's the way it's going to be, in my opinion.
And I respect your opinion, Mr. Kelly. I think, from my position, the reason for moving this forward to a vote is because, again, the voice of the town was quite clear at that meeting, and received overwhelming support for it. I want to honor the vote and the will of the people. I think that's important, and that's why I'd like to make a motion on it. It sounds like you're still very much opposed, correct?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Hey, Rick, you can make the motion, appease those that you want. There's no problem with that. Everybody knows, you include Brian, that where I stood in this. I have not been bashful about this in the first place, so you can make the motion, and I will stand by my position. Like I said, we take up the charter committee. Let's get something together going with that, and we can put that in there, as well as another topic that's going to be coming up for a discussion on that, because I think that one also belongs in front of the charter committee.
Can I make a comment?
Just briefly, Mr. Fleming.
Okay, I just want to briefly comment and just say, this attempt was not an attempt to circumvent anything. I just want to make that clear. We just felt that there was a urgent need in our town and a timely need in our town for this change, and that's why we did this way. A charter review would have been a potentially 2-year, 3-year process, whereas this could be done to review a charter and discuss many options of a charter could be a 2 or 3 year process, whereas this could be done as soon as next year. And we felt Marshfield urgently needed this, and that was why we chose to just do this one simple thing, not as a specific attack on anyone, but just as a way to make our government function and give you guys the freedom to actually, have one-on-one conversations with each other and communicate, because that's an important part of government. And
That's false, Brian. You and I have had many discussions on it that we can't have one-on-ones. It's the whole thing is that we can have maybe discussion. We had 5, we could probably talk to one other person, and that's it. We can't
Right,
go,
just one.
We can't go one.
No,
one.
I realize that.
As you and I have discussed, Brian, the problem is the open meeting laws. It should allow me and Rick to discuss items when we need to, and all that and everything. And because of that, that's the problem right there. And let's put it this way, Brian. If the state legislature, the same rules apply to the state legislature, right? Nothing would get done up there. And you know something, with all these towns in the quagmire they're in, I would say this open meeting law part is probably a big part of it, and not allowing Rick and I, or anybody else sitting in these seats, at least to have some communication amongst each other.
I agree.
And the whole thing is that if you can't talk and you can't do it until a meeting, then it's ineffective, in my opinion.
I agree 100%.
So my look at it is that there should be I respect and get it with the 5-member. The whole thing is, I think the whole mentality behind it is incorrect. I think the whole thing is that the open meeting law needs to change. That should be number one, in my opinion, right now. And the whole thing is, like you and I spoke, I think take that on, especially with other communities, and get them on board, and have that discussion and start pushing on the legislature. Like there's been some legislative things going, like the audit between communities, sending it to the state, sending that message. I think we did something like that, and have the state legislature take up changing and or modifying the open meeting laws. That will go a long ways forward for us, more than a 5-member select board, in my opinion.
And with respect, Mr. Kelly, I would point out that that is also a process that would take years and a lot of money to change state law at that level.
Brian, in my opinion,
And Marshfield
you and I
needs
discussed
urgent
that.
change.
I can almost agree with, would look at it as agreeing with that, but that all depends, like, years. I mean, the whole thing is that we've seen the legislature act on things that they wanted to right away and all that and everything, right? So the whole thing is that it's nothing stopping them from doing that. I would say if we did some kind of, let's put it this way, Brian, if you put some kind of thing together, like these towns have in regards to the state legislature denying the state auditor to review their budgets, right? And each community, I think, had a template, or one community had it, and everybody was starting to use that template to push for the state legislature to honor what the voters requested in regards to the state auditor being able to do. I think if you did something template like that and pass it around the towns, we may get ahead of that in a few months and not 24 months.
And I would just like to say, in this meeting earlier, Mr. Griffin talked about the Capital Budget Committee and looking at different departments. And I feel like he made a very valid point. And I wish that with a 5-member board, I could imagine a chair delegating one member looking into DPW's capital budget requests, one member looking at the school's capital budget requests, one person looking at the police department's budget requests, and one person looking at the fire department's budget requests.
Well, I mean-
and I think that would be, and then have them compile them and email the select board chair to compile that information to present it to the citizens.
Well, here's-
that seems to me like a functioning government solving a problem that was brought up,
Let's put it
which is a
this way,
good problem, but nothing's going to happen because you can't talk to one another.
The problem, Brian, I won't rehash the OMLs with you. We already got into that. But the whole thing is that in regards to each select board member taking up a department, that's what we have a 9-member advisory board for, right? And that's another thing that probably should be visited on the charter is potentially, with further discussion to see if it's in our best interest, to change into a finance committee. And I believe, Rick, if I'm correct, I'm trying to think, I think it's a 9-member advisory board, but I think we allowed for 2 additional members as
That's correct, yeah. They're
Yes, 2 more.
associate.
associate, thank you for that, and everything like that. So the potential is for 11 to have even, potentially even more review of things and all that and everything. So I think, in my opinion, Brian, there's need to be changes in regards to state law and all that, and we got a good advisory board. They're doing the best they can. 2 additional members and all that and everything. So, I mean, you know, and I know, Brian, we
I
can
know.
beat this down 4 ways
I
to
know.
Sunday.
And I also want to point out that I did email you the information about the town of Berkeley, which just is also in the process and is further along of expanding from a 3-member to a 5-member select board. And that town has under 7,000 people, and they are going to a 5-member board right now.
And like you and I have spoken before, I think we emailed back and forth that the Cannabis Commission was a 5-member board, and Haley and the legislature changed it back to a 3-member board. So, I mean, you can look at this in different ways. Right now, in my opinion, the way, for me being, like I told you before, Brian.
Sure.
If I was in the outside, like you looking in, even though we would be differences in our politics, I'd be right behind you. But I'm on the inside. I see it. And the whole thing is that I will look at a better understanding of it than you, as opposed to you being on the outside looking at what's going on. Rick got elected, I think, for the past 2 weeks. We've been doing well. We may not agree on everything.
Yeah.
But you know something, we're going to have an election in July 25th.
Yep.
All right? And we're going to see what happens then. And then whoever gets elected then, we may not agree on everything, but hopefully we will work well together. And
I hope so.
And then when we get a new TA and maybe make some other adjustments, we'll be good to go, in my opinion. So that's where I'm at. You know that and everything, so.
Thank you.
So,
I'd like to make a motion. I move that the board vote to submit the proposed special act legislation approved to change the town charter at the annual town meeting on April 27th and 28th, calling for a change from 3 to 5 select board members. Do I have a second?
you want to make, not a vote, a motion?
It was a motion.
You said vote.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I move that the board vote. Yes, that's, the motion is to vote to submit the proposed, and then we have a second, we discuss, and then we actually have the vote.
Mary, did you ask for a second?
I'm sorry?
Did you ask for a second?
Oh, no, I'll say it over again. I move that the board vote to submit the proposed special act legislation approved to change the town charter at the annual town meeting on April 27th and 28th, calling for a change from 3 to 5 select board members. Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion, any further discussion from the board?
Nope.
We'll take a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
Okay, we have one opposed, one opposed, one in favor. The motion fails. Okay, we're going to move on next to item number 4. Item number 4 is discussion and vote on submission of special legislature is approved at town meeting to create the position of finance director. So this was an additional item that was also on the special town meeting warrant to create the position of new finance director. It would be a change to the town charter. It would require that change be submitted to the legislature for their approval in order to make it official. Again, this was another vote that was taken, I believe, with 80% plus of the folks attending special town meeting that they were in favor of. I again want to honor their wishes to move this on to the legislature for approval. I don't see any reasons to negate that. And so I plan on voting in favor. Mr. Kelly.
There's another one, Mr. Chair, that I will not be voting to forward to the state legislature. It's another item I believe that should go under charter review for further discussion. I have concerns in regards to how it was written up, language that was used. And the other thing is that there is an unknown expense. It may seem small now, but I am afraid that it could grow, especially amid our budget situation. This is not good. I feel it would not be appropriate for us to move this along unless it went through a full charter review, discussion with the public, and everything. So that's where I'm at.
Okay.
I've been public about that too, so this is not going to come to a shock to anybody, much like the 5-member select board, so.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kelly. All right, I'll move that the board vote to submit the proposed special act legislation approved to change the town charter at the annual town meeting on April 27th and 28th, calling for a new finance director position. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion from the board?
No.
I'll take a vote. All of those in favor say aye. Rick Smith votes aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
We have one in favor, one against. The motion fails. Okay, that's item number 4. Welcome, Attorney Galvin. You were just on Zoom just a minute ago.
I've been on Zoom for the last half hour.
Oh, boy. And then you just zoomed right over here, didn't it?
I was driving here.
Okay. All right, next we'll go to item number 9, which is a discussion and vote on approving the building department fee increase proposal, continued from April 27th and May 11th. This one was continued because I was new, still am new, but I was, in particular, hadn't had much of an opportunity to review it. I have gone through the detail. I've reviewed it. I've spoken to Mr. Stewart about it. I don't have any further questions, and I don't have any opposition to moving forth with the proposal as presented.
Yeah, yeah, so this was first presented, I think you just got on the board, so you didn't have time to look at it. And sometimes you got to do that, Rick. I mean, when this was presented to me, I had to pass it over twice to get more information and all that and everything. So I sat down, I think twice, both for a couple of hours, and Andrew, it was very spirited and an informative conversation in regards to the fees and all that, and plus it led into other discussions in regards to the department itself and everything like that. So, so I'm glad to hear that you had a chance to sit down with Andrew, discuss it with them, and you're everything. You're good with everything.
Yes, sir.
Okay, because we went over it, and I went along with some things that I was looking to get changed and all that and everything. So, I guess I say I'm glad we're in agreement on this.
Good, all right.
So, all right, make the motion, pal.
I move that the board vote to approve the building department fee increase proposal submitted to the select board. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion from the board?
None.
Seeing no discussion, I'll take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The vote carries 2-0, or the motion carries 2-0 in the affirmative. Okay, we're going to go back. I just realized that we kind of briefly touched on item number 6 in an earlier discussion, but we didn't actually discuss it. So, Attorney Galvin, you want to join us up here so we're not speaking to you? There's a big old empty space here.
Okay.
I think, yeah, this question, or this agenda item was added. Mr. Kelly, I'll let you kind of take lead here.
What do you want to say, Rick?
I'm sorry?
What would you like me to say?
No, I think this one, I thought this one was, this agenda item was added by yourself. Is that?
It was, but we already discussed it. I said.
Okay, so you have nothing.
We're blending it with 2 and 2. I said, yeah, we might as well just 2 and 6 is all together, so.
Okay. All right. I don't have anything to discuss.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Galvin. You gonna go home now? No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Not just yet. All right, next, item number 11 is to discussion and vote to waive building permit fees relative to Martinson Elementary School roof project. So this is a request to waive building fees, permit fees for plumbing in particular, if I'm correct, is my understanding. This is,
It's page 2. That was just their top sheet.
please advise if the plumbing and gas permit fees will be waived?
I think they snuck that one in there, but it's supposed to be about the roof.
No, this isn't
Well, there could
related
be,
to the roof.
there could be
This is-
plumbing issues because they probably got vent stacks and all that and everything that need to be addressed.
Right. So that's right. So this is waiving the fees for the plumbing and gas permit fees. The requester's looking to confirm or to request that we can waive those. And Mr. Galvin, are you familiar with this one?
I am.
And is it just plumbing and gas permit fees?
Well, you as a board can decide to waive all fees of the building department, including these, if you choose.
But what is their request? I just want to make sure I understand the request, because I only see plumbing and gas highlighted here. I mean, and I understand the validity of asking.
I don't have all the backup that you have.
Yeah.
So if that's the request and that's all they're asking for, I think that's fine. And if they want additional ones, you could add them to the next agenda. You're going to meet next week anyway, so.
I'm just, and I'm not saying that I'm unwilling to waive all fees, but they don't ask for it. And
I don't know if Fred Russell.
you got to ask to receive.
Is on
Oh, is he?
the meeting.
Is Mr. Russell, are you on the meeting?
He's the proponent of this.
Okay. I don't,
Might be able to text him as well, too. I don't have his number, I'm sorry.
so I had 3 comments on this, or 4. I'll first start off with saying that is from a high-level perspective, the town charging itself a fee seems silly.
Doesn't make much sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
Our practice has been to waive fees on town projects.
Right. But I did a couple more things. Are these, regardless of who's asking it, whether it's ourselves asking ourselves or somebody asking, is there supposed to be an official request form or a written letter or something? This is just an addendum showing costs and then a highlighted line item. Is that?
They're typically very informal when it comes
Okay.
from the town.
Okay. All right. And do we know why plumbing, and sorry, I don't know this whole
I'm
project
sure that
very
there's
well.
some plumbing associated with the roof,
Relocation or something perhaps like that?
drains and things like that.
Okay. Mr. Kelly?
Like I said, the plumbing and gas, probably vent stacks and Bob said drains and all that and everything. I'm sure I would imagine there's probably other permits that are attached to it, but as you said, it's really not stated in there as far as I could tell, so. But let's put it this way, if other permits come up, Andrew can bring it to our attention, we just waive them.
Yep.
Done, you know, so.
Okay, agreed. All right, good. All right, let's. I move that the board vote to waive building permit fees relative to Martinson Elementary School roof project. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion, any further discussion from the board?
None.
All those,
Just make sure if you're only doing plumbing and the other one that you limit it to those.
well, thank you.
Because you just said generally building permit fees. And if you're only doing plumbing and the other one that were specifically requested, you may want to just modify that.
I move that the board vote.
I mean, we're gonna waive everything anyways, right? So we might as well just do the whole motion.
I can't imagine them not coming back and saying waive that on another day.
Yeah, because I mean,
I don't
there's gotta be
disagree with
more than
Mr.
gas
Kelly.
and plumbing on it.
I agree with you, Eric.
Yeah, yeah, just waive, just
Yep.
waive the whole thing.
I agree.
mean, well, let's put it this way, we're not going beyond the agenda item, are we?
All we're
No.
doing is having to come up with more money to pay ourselves money.
The motion is to, that the board vote to waive building permit fees relative to the project,
So
which,
then you just say
Very
all
all-
building permit fees.
all building, okay. I move that the board vote to waive all building permit fees relative to Martinson Elementary School roof project. I have a second?
What's the,
Item number 11.
11?
Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah, it's pretty broad, so.
You second?
Yeah, second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries 2-0. Okay, that's number 11. Moving on to number 12. This is a discussion and vote to waive all building permit fees for the Ventress Library roof restoration and exterior siding project. Yeah, again, makes complete sense that we would waive it, right?
It is a town building under our
Makes
authority.
1,000% sense, and I realize this isn't Washington DC, but it'd be nice to have a little bit more formality here in terms of stating what it exactly is
I think
requesting.
just in the future, it'd be helpful if Mr. Russell attended, because he could explain the details of a project. I wouldn't know any of these details.
No, and that's fine too, it'd be we have an item number an item on the agenda, and then all the backup here is just literally one page with a drawing and.
I think in a normal circumstance, either Peter or whoever succeeds him will be here and will marshal that through a little bit
Yep.
easier for you.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree with what Bob's saying. The whole thing is that maybe, I mean, Andrew's the one that would have, know what the permitting is gonna be, right, for it. So maybe Fred needs to be communicated, Fred, maybe when you have these situations come up, talk to Andrew, get a list of the permits that are going to be needed, so that way you have something on record that you're looking at.
Yeah, I think it would just be helpful, either they provide something in writing, and then they don't have to
No,
show
I
up,
agree, 'cause I mean-
or show up and answer the questions, and then we move
No, I
on.
agree, because the whole thing is that if you look at what we just happened with the Boys and Girls Club, we thought it was a $20,000 fee. There was nothing in our binder for it.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, Andrew gets online and says it's 40,000.
Right.
Well, that just changed the whole
Yep, the
picture of
math.
everything, right?
Yeah,
So,
right. Okay.
So I agree with you. Even though it doesn't matter where it's a public project, but
Right.
you do want to know amounts and all that.
Yeah, we understand what we're voting on, sure. Okay, I move that the board vote to waive all building permit fees relative to Ventress Library roof restoration and exterior siding project. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion from the board?
No, I just wanted to say I'm surprised that Mr. Kai is not here, the chair of the library, to thank me as when this came up about a year or so ago that I helped move it along, so he likes critiquing me the whole time. I figured he'd at least give me some kudos for helping this along, so.
All right, thank you, Mr. Kelly. We'll take a vote. All those in favor, vote aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries 2-0. Next up, item number 13. To discuss and accept a donation of $100 to Ventress Memorial Library from Sarah Gerritsen Lowry. She wrote a letter here on behalf of Ventress Memorial Library. I'm writing to, this is from Cindy Marco, to request you accept a donation of $100 from Ms. Lowry. I'd like to say thank you, Ms. Lowry. Appreciate the donation and continued support for the community. I don't have any other further comments or questions.
Just a simple thank you. Absolutely. Couldn't do it without these generous people that have the extra money to donate to organizations like this. Absolutely.
Fully agreed. All right. I move to accept a $100 donation with gratitude to the Ventress Memorial Library from Sarah Gerritsen Lowry. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other further board discussion?
None.
Seeing none, go to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries 2-0. We're on to item number 15. Is it 15?
Mr. Chair, can I speak to you on this?
You, please.
I think there was some confusion in the office. This was taken up the Monday before town meeting, and it was passed and approved. The only question I have, Bob, as I spoke to Tara before the meeting today, is there's a bike rack that's going to be donated. Well, actually, a whole bunch of materials was donated to fill all that and everything, but she was asking me about the bike rack. The bike rack's being donated to the neighborhood, but does she have to put a form together for the town? Does that have to be a donation to the town in any way, or how is that going to
Is
be?
it going to be located on town property, Eric?
Yeah, I think so.
Then the town should accept the gift of the bike rack.
Okay.
If we haven't already done it, I was not aware because don't believe I was at that prior meeting.
Yeah. All right, is there anything else that we may need to, like, any material donated,
if anybody's
soil, all that?
If anybody is donating anything that has a value of $50 or more, the select board typically accepts the gift on behalf of whomever's getting it, unless it's not a town entity. Like if the DPW were getting the materials donated to them to do this work, then you would accept it if it was more than $50.
No, it's to my understanding, material is being donated and the labor is donated to do whatever work was down there.
Within the layout of the street?
Yeah, it's like, say, 10 feet in, maybe. I haven't seen it. They got it pretty much almost all set up. I just haven't driven by it and seen it yet, so.
Again, whether it's labor or materials, if it has a value of $50 or more, your board would typically accept the gift on behalf of the town.
Okay,
Well, the value established here, just for the bike rack itself, the value is almost $871.
Yes. So if,
Not inclusive of labor and
if
everything
you
else.
haven't accepted it, you could make a motion just to accept the gift of the bike rack and any other materials or labor associated with the installation.
Does Tara need to send any form in detailing?
We usually get these in an email almost, Eric.
Yeah.
We don't have a form for the making of a donation.
All right, let's put it this way, Bart. Does she need to email what was, I guess, donated, I guess you could say? Or,
It would be helpful to have a summary of what is being donated above and beyond the bike rack.
Well, I
Right.
think that's in the email, right?
I've
From-
never seen the
from
backup.
Kate Burke in the packet. An email from Tara Brown to Miss Burke.
We've included already existing little library and estimate there to be 14 by 16, the cost of the bike rack. Reached out to a couple of businesses, open filling dirt and cost down, that is still in the works. Okay, so I think all you're doing right now is accepting the gift of a bike rack, and they're gonna be coming back with future donations of services and materials.
It looks like the bike rack was also approved, or given the all clear from fire, police, conservation, and the town planner.
yeah, the bike, I mean, we already took this all up. Maybe it is just focused on the bike rack, but if there's other stuff donated, then we got to incorporate that, right?
But the email from, I think it's Ms. Brown there, indicates that they were getting the values for those other things that are gonna be donated.
Yeah, maybe it's just the way the agenda's written up. Let's put it this way. This has already been approved by us. So all things I think we just need to get, and I would suggest, I would say, what, Bob, we can just approve all the donations, and then Chelsea reach out to Tara Brown and say, hey, just send the select board a list of anything that was $50 and over that was donated.
I think you could modify your motion to confirm the acceptance of the bike rack and any other labor or materials necessary to install it.
I like that, yeah.
And that would keep it simple.
And Chelsea, you can reach to the tower, just email you a list of items that were donated.
Yeah, so you might want to give recognition to somebody at a future meeting, but, you can move to
Yeah,
accept.
I was asking Tara for, I was like, you guys having a grand opening or anything like that? She's like, oh, I never thought about that. I was like, well, keep me and Rick informed if you do.
We can drive our bicycles down there.
How about if it reads, I move to approve the Kent Park bike rack request as well as all associated materials and labor required for installation.
Yes.
Bike rack.
Donation.
Donation.
Yeah, bike rack donation, yeah, 'cause it's already been approved, so.
Yep, yeah, you're right, okay. All right, I move to approve the Kent Park bike rack donation as well as all associated materials and labor required for installation. Do I have a second?
Does that have to state $50 or more, Bob?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
And it's determined that you did actually decide this on the 4/27 meeting.
Correct.
That was the meeting that occurred right before the town meeting.
Yeah, we approved the placement,
Yep,
that allowed them to use that
said,
spot.
Mr. Kelly moved, seconded by Mr. Darcy, to approve the request from Tara Brown to install a bike rack near the bus stop in Kent Park. It's already been approved. So I don't know why this is on the agenda then.
Yeah.
The donation.
Okay.
Oh, no, it was on, no, it's on the agenda because I don't think one of our office
Oh, no,
staff
what you
picked
did
up-
is you approved, according to the meeting minutes, you approved the concept of putting it in, and the donations were being collected to install the bike rack. So now you're just approving the donation of the bike rack at 8.
Yeah, all right, so, so it's right there, it's just the bike rack. Well, I don't know, I mean, it's a bike rack request, I don't know how it was written up on the previous agenda, but
The motion's for the donation.
it's a donation,
Yep.
yeah, so, So, I mean,
I still
all
think-
all you gotta do is modify the
Yeah, I already
motion
did.
you got is good,
Yeah.
so.
Want a second?
Second.
Is there any further board discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Vote carries, motion carries 2-0. Okay, on to number 16. Number 16 is a permit application for the Marshfield Fair by Eric Depradine, with a Marshfield Fair occurring the dates of August 21st to August 30th, 2026. Looks like it's been approved, the application has been approved by, is an agricultural event by the Commissioner of the Department of Agricultural Resources. Yeah. I don't have any questions.
I'm good with it, Rick. I don't have any questions either. As long as all the paperwork is filled out and everything.
It appears to be. The application's filled out and it is signed as well. Move to approve the farmer's market permit application submitted by Eric Depradine. Do I have a second?
Second?
Any further discussion from the board?
None.
Seeing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor of this motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0 in the affirmative. Okay, we're on to item number 17, which is the extension of temporary suspension of the Marshfield Yacht Club's liquor license. This is the temporary extension. Pat Brennan submitted an email and says, please see the attached letter requesting an extension on the temporary suspension of the Marshfield Yacht Club's liquor license while the new building is under construction. We're behind schedule and would like to suspend the license through August.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
They're not technically suspended. They've received permission to be closed and not exercise their license. So I think it's a better reference to say it's a temporary closure. Our laws require you to actively use a liquor license and not to be closed for any extended period of time without the approval of the board. So the whole suspension issue just makes it seem like they did something wrong. They're just reconstructing the building.
Correct. But the whole thing is that, what did we, this was on the agenda a while ago before they even started construction, so what do
Yeah.
is it
So-
a 6-month grace period or something, or?
Usually, we give them 6 months, and if they're usually reopened, but
Yeah, so it's not temporary, because now we got a double temporary going there.
it's still temporary because they'll come back as soon as the building is occupiable and want that license back.
Yes.
So what you're doing is, it's taking a little longer than maybe anticipated, so you're extending the approved closure.
Yeah, the grace period for them to stay closed. Yeah.
Like a restaurant can't technically be closed for like 30 days without your approval. And remember, the Salty
Days.
Salty Days came in and asked for permission to be closed when they renovated, and you approved that.
Right.
That was before your time, Rick. So, but this is a normal thing. And obviously, they're still closed because they're doing work on the yacht club, and it's taken a little, maybe longer than the 6 months or whatever, so.
Had a bad winter, so I'm sure a lot of people are behind this stuff. It's coming along, though, looks good.
I drove by it, it looks good.
Yeah.
Right, I'll move to extend the temporary closure of the Marshfield Yacht Club and allow the liquor license to be held pending completion of the work. Do I have a second?
Second?
Any other further board discussion?
None.
Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's 2 ayes. Motion carries 2-0. Next item, discussion and vote of the rearranging of the Select Board chamber. Mr. Kelly.
So, I had Todd up here, and, because, well, we got the sound, wire, and all that, and, because I'm thinking, I'm looking at this place, especially when we've had some packed meetings here and all that, and I'm like, if we took this, kitty cornered over there by that window, I was like, I think it would look appropriate, especially the design of this. Take these two tables, maybe put them together in front, but then I think we create up a whole space here for more seating. Take the podium, move it over here. Todd says it'll be like, I think, $20 you'd have to spend for a track along the wall for the wiring, but the wiring shouldn't be any issues. We got receptacles there, and he said it would just, and I don't know if there's anything else that has to be done without running it by Fred, in regards to anything on the ground, but it's, I'm sitting here last week, I was thinking about this like last week, 2 weeks ago, and then I came in here and Todd, I was like, I think if we move this into that corner, I think it opens up all types of space. It makes the room more open and like that, so Todd said he thinks it would work. I haven't talked to Fred, but I was like, I want to talk to Rick about this, see what Rick's thoughts are, and see if he wants to move along with it. And then, leave that, give it a try and see how it looks. But I just wanted to bring your attention what I was thinking and all that and everything, see what you wanted to do as well, if you were in agreement or not.
I'd want to think about it a little bit more, just because I have some questions and thoughts. If you don't mind, I'd be fine by adding it to the agenda at the next meeting.
Yeah, if you're ready then. I mean, it's no rush.
I just want to think through it a little bit more, because this is the first time I've kind of heard the proposal of where it would go and all of that, so.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, like I said, this over in the corner, those two tables are like I think, the problem to me, but I think if we put them together in front, I think it might work. The podium would go over on this side. I think that's all I was looking at, besides expand the seats if we have that much more room. And I think Andrew said we were good on the weight, with the extra weight, if we could have more people in here. So I think I covered everything, but absolutely.
The cameras. Did you think about the cameras?
Yeah, Todd, we discussed that. I think Todd, no, I think they're all good. I think they all can stay in the same spot. Yeah, because they're all movable. Like, right, they're all on a rotating thing, right? You can move them around the room. The cameras. Yeah, so I don't think the cameras have to be adjusted, but I think I'd bring your attention,
No, I
have a
appreciate
quick
it.
discussion on it, and then you could think on it.
Thank you. Chelsea, could you add this to the agenda item for the next meeting? Thank you, next Thursday. Next, item number 19, charter, discussion vote on the Charter Commission. Mr. Kelly.
Yes, all right, so, Mr. Chair, this is me being a select board member for the last 2 years, chairperson for the last year. Going through the charter, there are, I think, numerous things that need to be modified in the charter. I think some of it hinders the select board's ability to do things. And I think there are other things in there that are outdated that need to be brought up to speed. So I was thinking that if you want to set some time aside for a meeting, and maybe go over, look at the charter. And actually, something, maybe we can have Chelsea take it and put it up and maybe do a PowerPoint if you wanted some meeting. We can highlight some of the things, and I think my look at is that I think we should start a charter commission, especially, like I said, people want a 5-member select board. Not to say that couldn't be revisited in a couple of months, but also the director of finance, which I think that certainly does need to be scrutinized more, in my opinion. But the whole thing is that the charter commission is the place to be, and I think we're already at that 10 years, and I think we should revisit it and get that out of the way sooner than later. I mean, my look at it is that we do that, and hopefully we can get a report back from them, and I don't know, 10, 12 months, and we'll go from there, see what happens, you know? But I do think it needs to be revamped, in my experience. And I'll be honest with you on this one, Rick. In the past charter thing, I was opposed to certain things, but as someone being on the inside, seeing how the government operates and all that and everything, there were probably some things that I would probably agree with then that would change in the charter now.
What is the requirement for the frequency of charter reviews? If I,
There's no,
there isn't, okay. I thought.
there is none. It's customary and recommended that you look at your operations every 10 years or so.
Okay, so that's just a general
That's a
practice,
guidance.
but it's not a
no
it's not a
requirement of
requirement.
the law.
Okay, and the last one we did was when, you said
So, about 10 years ago, I think.
10 years ago?
So that was an appointed charter review committee.
There was a motion made at town meeting, an
It was
annual.
an ad
or-
hoc committee created by the selectmen to review the charter and make recommendations for special act legislation. It went to town meeting and kind of really fell apart right at the first night of town meeting. There was some reluctance on the part of,
Town manager was a big one.
yeah, there was some efficiencies that were being recommended. I don't know if the Department of Public Works or the Board of Public Works was being abolished.
Yeah,
In
the
favor.
3-member Board of Public Works, they wanted to eliminate, they wanted to create a 5-member.
Board of Selectmen.
Board of Selectmen.
Correct.
They wanted to create
Town
a
manager.
town manager. Just
There were
with the town manager and the elimination of the Board of Selectmen, people are absolutely opposed to it, you know, so my opinion is, in regards to charter commission, but further discussion is, stay away from the town manager.
I attended most, if not all, of those meetings, and, there were people that had been involved in town and various department heads and former officials that had retired, and they spent a long time, and they met with every single board of the town and committee of the town and town officials, and came up with a recommendation. And one of the things that I've heard about that was that there was no ability for that committee to explain that publicly prior to town meeting. And, that was a material factor in why there was a lot of consternation about it. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is, as Mr. Kelly said, ask the voters to create a charter review commission, which is a longer process. It's usually, either 5 or 9 members, but, I forget exactly what the requirements are, but an odd number, and they meet for about 18 months, and then, they make a recommendation for charter changes, and then that gets voted on.
I appreciate that, and I agree with you conceptually that it makes sense to take another look at the charter. I think it makes sense to move forward on that. I just want to understand some more of the details and whatnot. I'd like to ask that Chelsea add it to be one of the top items at the next select board meeting next Thursday. But otherwise, conceptually, it makes complete sense to me. I also agree with you, too, that I think there are several items in our town charter that should be reviewed and looked at. In light of, times change, where things certainly change over the last 10 years, and I think it would also be a very healthy discussion, too, for the town to take on.
If you have a desire to form an elected charter commission, then you would probably add that to a ballot, a special election ballot, if we have one that comes up.
Could we do it at the July 25th special election that's already scheduled? Is it too late to put
We would
that
have
on
to
there?
talk to the town clerk.
Okay.
You typically need 35 days to do that. The reason why you needed a longer period of time was to fill a vacancy in an office. that's
No, I
different from a ballot question. That required 65 days. So the answer is yes, probably, but we should consult
Okay.
the town clerk.
All right. Chelsea, could you make sure, too, that we invite the town clerk and ask her to attend for that portion next meeting? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Okay, moving on to agenda item number 20. I think there's nothing, we're punting on that, right? I thought that one was being moved.
Which one's,
It's the item number 20, accepting applications for committees and boards, end date to submit. I think
no.
that was just going to be more of a discussion on when is the end date? What is the process?
yeah, so, this was a, June 30th is the end date in regards to people's terms
Yeah.
coming up this year.
Sure.
So, with everything going on last year, it's just a giant crap show last year. So we had to extend it out to like, I think, August or whatever.
Yep.
So trying to think ahead of things of what went wrong last year and prevent that this year, especially for you, Rick. I was going through my head, I was like, you know something, let's get this process going for the committee and boards. So my look at it is up, let's authorize people submitting applications for committees and boards that are coming up. And any applications that we have in there now that are old, we should discard. And people resubmit or submit what committees and boards they would like. And we'll set an end date, and then we'll get all those applications. And if there's, I don't know, depending on how you look at it, any luck, there'll be a whole lot that you have to go through and sort through. And if not, then it might not be too bad, but then you have to decide whether you want, if there's open seats, it's easy, because you got to fill them, but you also got to make decisions on who we want to, if there's anybody that we do or do not want to keep on the boards and committees as well. So.
So is your suggestion that we make an announcement out to the community that we're setting the end dates for applications and submissions of those by June 30th?
No, I would say just go 2 weeks out. What are we at right now? It would be into June, so I'd say go 2 weeks out. That gives us time to go through the applications and.
Oh, you're saying in order to meet the June 30th?
Correct.
Got it.
This is what I'm trying to help us avoid right now, not a repeat of last year, where everything was just a disaster. And then and if Chelsea has any, and my suggestion is Chelsea has any current applications for boards right now that we just put them in the round file, and everybody needs to resubmit or submit. Because last year when we did it, we had stuff in the file that going back to like year 22, I think. And then you call them up, there's no way it doesn't seem like any interest. So the whole thing is that we start fresh, we get new applications. This way, we know that these people are intending to want to be on a board and a committee. So if you wanted to call them, Rick, and talk to them, at least more than likely that you're not going to not get a phone call back or a wrong number.
Eric, shouldn't you be sending a letter out to people?
Sorry, we're not, sorry, public comment period is closed, sorry. Look at the calendar here.
I have an idea that might be helpful to you.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
You have committee chairs right now elected by each of those committees. You could have Chelsea contact each chair and ask how many positions are up for renewal and whether any of the people that are on the committee are asking to be renewed. And then I think you can also, I mean, there might be positions that are going to be vacant. And someone's on, like, just take any board, not suggesting any one board in particular, but take the zoning board, say that there's someone that's up for renewal that's not looking to be reappointed, you know you got a vacancy. But, you know, that's a board where you have 2 associate members. Do you want to invite them? Or do you want to have somebody else apply? I mean, I picked that one out not because I believe there's any issue there, but just because it's one that came to mind. So I would recommend that Chelsea contact the chairs, confirm with the town clerk how many positions need to be filled on each of those boards, and you all announce that you'll be accepting either renewal applications or new applications, but until June, whatever, 2 weeks, if that's what you think. And then you'll have the list. And you can make those reappointments before the end of the month of June.
All right, so,
Go ahead.
so they get till June 12th, which is approximately 2 weeks out from now. Chelsea gets, you're suggesting that Chelsea gets a list of everybody who's planning on reapplying.
Reapplying or any vacancy.
So that way we know exactly how
How
many
many appointments
vacancies
you
are.
need to make on each board.
Yep.
And then you accept either renewal applications or new applications through whatever date you determine.
Yep.
And then you can fill them by the end of the month. The department heads.
But is the thought-
department
is-
heads wanted a say in this. I remember that last year. Do you remember that, Eric?
Well, they wanted some input, but at the end of the day, they'll say, like I've always said when we established these, the 2 extra positions on the board, I keep forgetting the stupid name of it. At the end of the day, everybody has to realize it's the 3 of us, or 2 of us right now, but that have the final say in who we want on and who we don't, right? It's not, you can take input, but at the end of the day, and I'll always protect this regardless of what anybody says, that it's the select board's authority at the end of the day, who they want to keep on, don't want to keep on, and all that. I mean, Bob's concept is not a bad one, but I'm not going to BS anybody here. I think we should just accept, I think we should just go out and put the applications out, and people want to sign up because, Rick, I don't know if there's anybody that you want to keep on any of these committees, and there are some people that have my attention. I don't even know if I want to keep on. So the whole thing is that we just get the applications, we know people are on, and then we just go from there, you know? Because if you're gonna wait till them and all that and everything, then I think you're just delaying a process that you don't need to.
Yeah, I don't disagree with Mr. Kelly. I think that just simply saying if your seat is ending, or your term is ending in your seat on June 30th, then send in a renewed application by June 12th.
With everybody else.
With everybody, yeah, right.
Okay.
Just so that way everyone is given fair consideration, right? It
Okay.
keeps the process very fair.
So I just think you need to circulate an announcement that, Mr. Moran could draft to all of the boards and committees, and anybody whose term is expiring, submit your application by this time, and it'll be considered with any other applicants.
Yep, that goes for associate members.
Everything.
And,
Well,
full-time
remember,
members.
like, some terms that you, appointed last year, you made like a 3-year appointment, so they don't have to reapply because their term is still valid. Like, on the ZBA,
think-
it's a 3-year term.
Yeah, there's one position up this year for the ZBA.
Yeah, there would be one position
Yeah.
up for the ZBA.
Actually, 2 if you incorporate the associate.
Okay.
So Chelsea needs to go through everything.
There's a list
And then-
there because you guys created it and you knew what was coming up last year. So
Yes.
I'm sure we can find that for Chelsea.
Yep. And then go through that list, just verify it, and then,
Make
I
an
would say-
announcement as soon as possible, though.
yep, put an ad out regardless of committees and boards. And the only thing that we just got to agree to, Rick, I think, on top of that is just put an end date on it. So that way you get them in, and we can review it, and then we can have the meeting, and everybody knows where they stand ahead of time, my opinion.
Okay, I'm fine with the 12th. Do we have to take a vote?
Just make a motion that any renewals or new application for committee members are going to be due by June 12th, and then you can direct Chelsea and Mr. Moran to notify all the boards and committees.
So what are we at now? We're at the 20th? 1, 2, 6.
I think the 12th,
So 3 weeks out?
I think the 12th is fair, it's 2.5 weeks. And then that gives us 2 weeks and 2 days to review, nominate, approve.
It's 3.5 weeks out.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know what, you're right.
3 weeks and 2 days.
3 weeks.
No,
3.5 weeks.
it is 3 weeks and 2 days, you're right.
And so we get everything by the 12th. That means it's going to give us it'll give us 2.5, almost 2.5 weeks to review, make a vote. So figure a week. And then we should have a vote probably, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks before the appointment ends. I don't know. Do you think the 6th might, well, no. Do you think the 5th might be better, Rick?
If you establish your deadline of June 12th, you conceivably could have a meeting on the 22nd of June, which would give a week in advance, because give you an entire week to look at all the applications. Remember that 15th is your town meeting, so you probably won't meet that night and won't want to do it that
Forgot
night.
about that, yeah.
Well, June 10th, and then we give, that's a little less than 3.5 weeks.
That's 3 weeks.
That's 3 weeks, right? And it gives us 2.5 weeks, and we're good. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know how many applications we're going to get in. And then you get them in, maybe you want to call some people, get a little more background on them.
Right.
It takes time.
Yep, no, I get
I
it.
wanna make-
Yeah, we're not going to drop everything and have to
Yeah.
speed through it in 2
Yeah,
days.
I just want to share you my experience and what I've gone through in regards to this. I just want you to be well aware.
Okay, I move to accept applications for committees and boards and establish a submission deadline of June 10th, 2026. I have a second.
You said June 10th?
June 10th.
Okay, second.
Any other further discussion from the board?
None.
We'll take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0.
Yeah, and just want to make sure that that notice gets sent out as soon as possible by
Chelsea? As soon as-
She's on it. We got faith in Chelsea.
I've actually seen that list, so it
All right.
should be easy to find.
Okay. Discussion number 20. Okay, so item number 21, this is a temporary liquor license application for Michael Snowdale of Stellwagen Beer Company. It's for a pop-up beer garden at Green Harbor Lobster Pound on May 24th from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. It is for wine and malt beverages only. Insurance has been received. We have the tips certifications in our possession as well. The applicant has signed the application. They've also provided an overview, a drawing, if you will, showing where the beer garden will be, that there is restriction in terms of where beer can be brought beyond, in terms of a point. And looks like we have approvals from police and fire. And I reviewed this yesterday. I don't have any issues with it or any questions. Mr. Kelly?
No, this is something that comes up at least every year since I've been here, I believe. There is one thing I want to ask that a correction be made. If you look at the signature, the licensing page, I would like to ask Chelsea to remove our former town administrator's name off it. And in my opinion, Rick, I don't know if this requires a vote or not, but if it does, I would like to see our names underneath the sale on these things, or any select board member that's underneath the sale.
Can we add that to as an agenda item for Thursday's meeting, Chelsea? To discuss the seal that appears on the application. Duly noted. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Okay. No other questions?
No, I'm good. Everything looks good here to me.
Okay. All right, so I move to approve the temporary liquor license application for Cancer Cant on behalf of Stellwagen Beer Company for a fundraiser benefiting local cancer patients and their families on May 24th.
No,
That-
you skipped ahead. You need
Did I?
a motion on item number 20.
I'm sorry, you're right. I was wondering, that looked really funny.
Yeah, it looks very similar in their next up, so that's okay.
Jeez.
So it's the motion on item 21.
2 nights in a row now. Getting close, getting better. All right, by the third time's a charm.
Oh, don't jinx yourself. Don't jinx yourself.
Location, Green Harbor. Okay, I move to approve the temporary liquor license application for Stellwagen Beer Company on May 24th, 2026 at the Green Harbor Lobster Pound. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion from the board?
None.
Seeing no discussion, I'll take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 2-0. On to number 22, which is a temporary liquor license application from Michael Snowdale of 100 Enterprise Drive for an event on June 5th, 2026, from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. The event will be held at Route 3 Stages located at 125 Enterprise Drive. It is a casino night fundraiser to benefit local cancer patients and their families as part of Cancer Can't, which is the organization. It's fake and play money only, gambling's for entertainment only. This is a permit for all alcoholic beverages. We do have a copy of the liability insurance as well as the tip certifications have been received for all services. This is an indoor event. And the applicant has correctly signed the application and dated it. We also have a drawing showing the location of the event, where different tables and whatnot will be, and where alcohol can be consumed. We also have acknowledgement and approval from both the police department and the fire department. I don't have any comments or questions. I'm going to review this and I'm okay with it. Mr. Kelly?
I don't have a problem with it. It looks like it's going to be a good time all around. It's the gambling, the whole gambling scenario is legal, Bob?
If it's nonprofit group and is doing that, they can get a state permit to do that, sure.
Well, I mean, it's saying it's fake money, fake play money,
Yeah.
gambling is for entertainment only, so.
I do have a concern. Stellwagen Brewery already possesses a liquor license. And I'm not sure that a premises that is already licensed can have a special one-day license.
Well, the location.
Is it a
of the
different
event.
location for
Yeah, it's
Stellwagen
at
is?
Route 3 Stages.
Is that a different?
Yeah, Route 3 Stages is.
125 Enterprise Drive.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's permissible.
Okay.
And only a nonprofit organization can get an all-alcoholic beverage license. Stellwagen Brewery wouldn't be able to. The applicant is the nonprofit, is that correct?
Correct, and they have provided their EIN number as well.
All right, then that's perfectly fine.
Did you say Stellwagen was the nonprofit?
No, the.
Cancer Can't.
Yeah, Cancer Can't, okay,
Right.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Because remember,
Yeah.
if another entity is looking for it and they're a for-profit, they can only get beer and wine.
Okay, all right.
Any discussion?
No, I'm good.
Nope. Okay. I move to approve the temporary liquor license application for Cancer Can't on behalf of Stellwagen Beer Company for a fundraiser benefiting local cancer patients and their families on May 24th, 2026, at 125 Enterprise Drive. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion from the board?
None.
Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 2-0. All right, second to last. Okay, item number 23, discussion and vote to accept a handmade water wheel donation valued at between $50,000 and $20,000 from Greg and Lori Wheeler to Veteran Services. We received a letter from Karen Paulette, Director of Veterans Services, that reads, "The Town of Marshfield Veterans Services is requesting permission to accept a water wheel, which was donated by Greg and Lori Wheeler and their volunteer craftsmen. Mr. and Mrs. Wheeler proudly donated the first wheel that was placed in the park many years ago and are proud to donate this wheel as well. Mr. Wheeler and his volunteers donated over 1,300 hours of their time in crafting this wheel with all donated materials, which are valued between $15,000 and $20,000. So I guess this is a new water wheel for the Veterans Park. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I think it's going to look great, and there is obviously a exceptional amount of work put into this. And I express my again sincere thanks and appreciation to Mr. and Mrs. Wheeler for putting this kind of work into getting this to the town for the benefit of the town, in honor of our veterans and those that have fought in the line of duty. I'm aware that, I believe what we heard from Karen earlier is that that is going to be shown at the Memorial Day parade, or shortly after, or it's going to be in the parade, so everybody will be able to see it. But then once the grass is taken hold over at the park, which it's hopefully will be soon, once that is taken hold, and then people can go and walk in the park and not disrupt the grass, the new grass, then it'll be installed for everybody to enjoy. So.
Well, I think what might happen, is I believe you are correct, that wheel will be part of the parade. And then I think they will install I imagine they could probably install the wheel when they get a chance, but then they can't have any ceremonies for it until the grass is set up there, so we're not ruining it. So it's probably going to be like maybe a month, maybe before the news.
I am here, if you want me to answer for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why not, if you're on there?
I've been waiting.
All right. Patient.
So you are correct. So the plan is that the wheel will be on the parade. It'll be on a flatbed donated by Taylor Lumber. Is gonna pull the wheel in the parade for everybody to see. And we are gonna honor those volunteers during the ceremony. After the parade, the wheel will be dropped at Memorial Park, and they are going to wheel it through the park and onto some horses for it to sit until at such time we can get it lifted and put into the river. And then once that is done, then also if the grass, once that grass is grown and can withstand everybody walking on it, and it's nice and strong, we're going to do a grand opening. It's going to be wonderful. We're going to dedicate the wheel and honor those volunteers that put the wheel together, amongst other things, with the grand opening.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Paulette.
Get your calendar ready, Rick. There's going to be a lot of things to do this year.
Love it. It's good. No, this is it's fantastic. All right. Move to accept the donation of a handmade water wheel valued between $15,000 and $20,000 with gratitude from Greg and Lori Wheeler to Veterans Services. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is there any further discussion from the board?
None.
Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Vote carries, motion carries 2-0 in favor. Okay. Lastly, just meeting for a discussion vote on the next select board meeting date. So we already set that last night for Thursday, May 28th. So that's a little over a week from today. Are you okay, Mr. Kelly, with setting the date for the following week too, is Monday, June 1st?
So we're doing the 28th next week, right?
Correct.
And then afterwards, it's gonna be June 1st. Yeah, why not why don't we go June 1st after a good start with the meeting? Absolutely.
That's right.
And you can, is there a time you still wanna start at 5:30? You wanna go to 6, or, I don't know what your,
I think it's 5:30 is
I mean,
fine.
at the end of the day, you can make that decision one way or the other, but it's, I wasn't too sure if 5:30 was pushing it for you.
No, that's fine. I'd be fine with 5:30 on that Monday. So Chelsea? I think we have Mondays in the calendar.
Yeah, Monday's our day.
Oh, there's one.
Monday the 1st, look, it's wide open. All right.
There's
It's
one
ours.
thing, Bob, did you able to review the AMVETS license?
Yeah, did you guys, it's on your agenda.
No, we took it up. We just stipulated, because nobody knew where we stood with the license, if you were good with it or not. So the whole thing's
Well,
up.
they haven't, so they turned in their license because it was issued to the DAV.
Yep.
Okay, it's a club license. So once the lease is in place, and hopefully you've prepared to sign that, they can reapply for the club license, and you can issue it to the AMVETS. The liquor license.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the insurance.
Oh, we haven't seen the certificates of insurance yet?
I think they
But
sent, I
Attorney McLeod,
think they sent it to you. At least they said they did.
I got an email.
Policy, insurance policy?
I got an email from Mr. McLeod this morning, Attorney McLeod, saying that they were getting the license, the liability policies. I haven't seen it yet.
All right, they can't do anything until, you're good?
Can't,
No, they
premises.
can't move forward with their,
liquor license
no, not the liquor license, this lease,
until they have that insurance.
until you review it and give you thumbs up.
Yeah, and I want to see those policies.
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect, yep. And
So
we
they had them with
we
them, but it's,
voted.
did they send them to you, Chelsea?
Yeah, I believe Kate forwarded it to you, but I do have
The
it on my
insurance
desk
policies?
in there. If you need a copy of it, I can
Okay.
scan it and send it again.
Let me see. I didn't see them, so. Just give me 1 second, I can tell.
Just if you have it right there, Chelsea, just resend it to them.
But I can, it's right on the desk.
They have a liquor liability policy, I have it.
You have it?
I have that. They have a liquor liability policy.
Well, you just want to review it when you get a chance?
Yep.
And then you can just get back to them and say, look, I'm fine with
Yeah,
this.
Chelsea sent that to me yesterday. I'll look at it.
Great.
And be able to say yes right away.
Yeah, as long as the coverage is good for the town and all that,
Yep.
that's all I cared about.
And then they'll come back in and apply for the liquor license, the club license to issue to them, to the DAV.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was getting asked that question by people,
Okay.
because Memorial Day is rolling up, I go, yeah, that'll be an act of God for them to get that, I think.
Well, the liquor liability policy issued to the DAV chapter, so they'll have to update that to make it AMVETS.
Yeah, the name.
Correct. They'll have to update the name.
Yeah, just highlight whatever, I'm sure McLeod knows that anyway, Attorney McLeod knows that anyways, but just highlight that. Besides that, but I'm just, my look at it is just the coverage.
That's very important, though, because it doesn't help us for the DAV to have a policy now. We need the AMVETS to have the policy.
Correct.
Yep,
So you'll handle that with them?
I will.
Okay, great.
I think it's
Let
just
us
a
notice-
change in the
Let us
name.
know as soon as you have that and it's been approved, and then we'll sign.
Okay.
Great. I'd like to make a motion that we conclude our select board meeting at 21:00.
You guys approved the meeting minutes for the 5/11.
Oh, that's right, we had meeting minutes.
Is that on the agenda?
It was on the agenda.
It is in the agenda, she's correct. I think it's 9 o'clock, and I just realized that you and I have spent more time together in the last 2 hours than I've
Oh, it's at the bottom.
probably seen my wife in the last week. Yes, it is. And that is, those meeting minutes are here in,
I emailed them to everyone.
If you don't sweat it, Rick, if you haven't reviewed it.
Yep.
You can take it up, just put it on next week.
get a long list of things already. Okay. Okay. Right. I'll make a motion to adjourn our select board meeting at 9:03 PM, sorry, on May 20th. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Roll call.
Eric Kelly, aye.
Rick Smith, aye. Thank you and good night, everybody.